Greetings, one and all, to this week's episode of Two Beardless Men. No, it's of 10 o'clock. Episode 428.
We both found
My
the
beard
razors.
fell off. No, mine fell off.
Oh.
I was advised about beard butter, and I thought I would try this totally not beard butter, and no, I can't believe it's not beard butter, and it ended up just falling off. Turns out acid is not a good substitute for beard butter. Anyway, so yeah, but we'll continue doing our Warframe podcast regardless. And we'll start the first thing that we do every week, which is emblems. Cool. There we go. So, kind of want to give it to yours.
What kind of a bird is yours?
I think it's supposed to be a hawk or a falcon. I'm not entirely sure.
Very strange.
It's got too much going on for it.
I know. By the way, nothing against the current use of the rainbow flag for all the LGBTQ, all the thing. That's fine. That's their choice of flag and things. That's fine. That's them. It's nothing like that. But ever since I was a kid, I was never a fan of like rainbows as a thing to put on stuff. Nothing to do with that or anything. I don't want to say anything. It's because all the like. Do you remember back in the 80s? They used to like put rainbows and everything. There was a kid show, especially. I think it was called probably called Rainbow. That might have got me. And since then, like I just don't like rainbows on things. Even though it even goes to science. It's like the breakdown of like there's some lovely stuff about like how that's amazing. It's like breathtaking the universe that we're in. Let alone its current use, which is for pride and all that and that. But I just don't like rainbows. I've always been like.
I don't know if you're aware of this. Resistors in electronics use colors to represent the number.
Yeah.
Right. So the resistance value. So the first two numbers are like the first two digits of the resistance, and then the last number, the third band, is the number of following zeros.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I haven't done this low level electronics for a very, very long time. But like whenever I see a rainbow, I just think like, yes, resistance chart.
Oh,
I got it.
For me,
There's no.
It just feels like 1980s tackiness to me. I'm just like,
yeah, I'm just trying to think. Like, so we got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's two more. I'm just trying to think what the other two colors are. I think it's like gold and silver. But yeah, that's sorry, random tidbit. I don't know why, but anyway. Right, so yeah, that's it for the emblems. However, if you want to put it back.
Emblems.
However, if you want a chance to win 75 platinum for your platform of choice, you got to go into the description below where you'll find this week's polls. You just fill in the polls. Make sure you spell your in-game name correct. You got to select your platform of choice, and you'll automatically be entered in for a 75 platinum giveaway. If you get your name wrong, then I'm going to send it on to DE, and then no one wins. And no one winning is sad. There you go. Now you can do the dojo dusting. There, right. So we got winners. We have platinum winners. So Benjamin's Marriage for PC, No Lock No Axe for PlayStation, Stormfist 10 for Xbox, and Tucker wins yet again. I've added the yet on Nintendo.
What? just Tucker wins. Rigged.
Yep.
Rigged. Yep. Game is rigged.
Yep. Anyway, other news for Dojo Dusting. There's more Notice Me Senpai. Did I tell you about the extended versions of Notice Me Senpai and Arbiters? Yeah, so if you're a Patreon supporter, so that's patreon.com/Xenogellion. At any tier, you will have access to the extended versions of Arbiters and Notice Me Senpai, where there's a fifth question asked by each guest. What else? Yeah, so that's the thing. Just trying to think what else. Can't think of much else to say. So working on the new Seccret Meme, which Loz has had a chance to read the script, and I'm trying to expand on it and take his.
I punched the first draft of it.
You punched the first draft of it?
I punched at your first draft. You made a first draft and then you showed it to me, and I was like, bah, 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 bah.
Yeah,
punching holes in it. Punching holes.
Oh my god, dude! Like seriously, it was so much worse before I showed it to you. I was like, I'm not even happy with this. I'm not showing it to Loz. Right. Okay. That's pretty much it for Dojo Dusting. I can't think of anything else. So let's move on.
This will probably be my last episode for a few bits.
Yeah. We spoke about this beforehand, and I was like, "Yep, make sure I got to tell them that," and I completely forgot.
Well, I'll be moving around the UK to a new place and starting a new job, hopefully. So, well, I will be starting a new job. So I don't know. I'm definitely missing 1 week, probably up to, I can't believe more than 4, but we'll see, hopefully.
It's entirely dependent on how long it takes for the internet to be installed and stuff like that.
In other countries, that's probably a very simple and straightforward process. Here we have 2 words of a horrible thing called open and reach, and it is not the best.
On a completely separate tangent, I discovered earlier this week that the general notice period for the States, if you're like handing in your termination, like, I'm leaving you, so on and so forth, it's a 2-week notice period.
What, everywhere?
Yeah.
Every job?
Well, definitely my level of job.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was shocked. Like, over here in the UK, my notice period is 3 months, and they want to up it to 6.
Oh, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, let us move along.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
The war report. I've got stuff. Also, what is this? What is this from bloody Barrow? Like some sigils. Oh, look, it's 2 tiger sigils.
In it, like Christmas. Sorry, Christmas. In it, like Chinese Christmas.
Yeah. That's all we get. Not even like a pet skin or something. I don't know. Anyway, the war report. So, Star Days, which I'm probably actually going to visit now in a sec, because that's probably actually an even better place to go get Emblems, has started on all platforms.
Yeah.
And
I actually went to that. I couldn't find a single emblem.
Yeah, I just went to Barrow and couldn't find an emblem. What is it with emblems, people? We need emblems. We have to, and the rules still apply, which we've had for what, 400 episodes. Gotta find them in the game. Can't just whatever. So
I found the best emblem ever again.
Oh yeah, look, calm. What the hell?
Yeah. I found the best emblem ever again.
Yeah.
The 2B one.
Ah. Right. Also, to let people know, just this is other things that are happening in Warframe at the moment, obviously, because we're waiting. We're going to have another dev stream at the end of this month, which I will look forward to watching 10 o'clock as you guys report on it. And then with the new content, hopefully, I think coming, they're going to tell us more about it now. They didn't say a release date, did they?
No.
But on top of that, one of the things happening is Banshee and Mirage Prime Vault opens on the 15th of February. So if you missed out, I don't know, I think this is probably going to be a very low income Prime Vault for them, because surely everyone who wanted it probably got it before in Prime Resurgence or whatever it was. So I can't believe there's that many people. But just if you did miss out on Banshee, or you preferred these packs over the Prime Resurgent ones, 15th of Feb for that. And also Tenno Round 1 Part 1 has opened for submissions. So check the Warframe website if you are a Tenno artist and you're really interested in doing things. Where the hell are all the emblems? Maybe that's what they should do, Tenno emblems for everyone. That wouldn't make sense, would it? Right, yeah. So that's it. So that's it for the war report, and we'll move straight on to topics.
Oh, whoa. My good sir. We have won at the war report, right? I don't know if I've actually told you this. We have news. We have won at Warframe, right? For this week, we had the release of Echoes of War. I think that was the update, 31.1. And the best feature update to Warframe hit the game, right? They have reduced the sheer volume of orange crap at Deimos. We have won, people. We have won.
What is this?
Oh, we can ignore that. But no. But seriously though, it's like if you, like me, and I know Tobiah had the same issue, if you had issues with the amount of orange particles that were floating around the environment in Deimos, it has dramatically reduced to the point of I feel like I can actually go there without my eyes bleeding. So yeah, I really wanted to throw that one out there because it wasn't said anyway. It wasn't said in the dev stream. It wasn't said in any of the preview notes or anything. It was one of the. So yeah.
Cool. I might go there in a sec so we can actually have a look at it.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool. But that's it for the war and for me. Stop whatever game has to download it.
Well, while Drew is doing whatever it is that is making him Mr.
I found it.
Roboto.
I found it.
I'll push the
top. It was Lost Ark. Lost Ark was updating.
Maybe yes, they've actually finally turned that game on.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Cool. So.
That's a nice
crap.
Gauss.
Where are
I like
topics?
That Gauss. That's a cool. Oh, I did push it. That's a cool Gauss.
Yeah. So the first topic we have for this week, my good sir, if he hits the button,
I don't know why you want them on.
Is it just me, or is the design of mowers kind of perfect? Okay. And topic 2, one of the operator's voice lines about the infested got me thinking. Okay. All right, so topic 1. Is it just me, or is the design of mowers kind of perfect? More so the corpus models than the companion models. The design is pretty much exactly what The design is pretty much exactly what I think a super disposable, mass-produced infantry combat robot should be. Extreme utility, small frame, just the essentials. It's relatively simple, but powerful legs make up the bulk of its mass, making it extremely mobile and agile for its size, with also providing it with a potent melee tool. A kick from one of those things would kill most people. The guns are kept fairly small and interchangeable for greater customization, and it positioned on a swivel, so behind it isn't even safe. Okay,
it's quite useful. I can do this because we're on a recording the video. I'll get a mower up. So yeah, let's have a look at a mower. Yeah, I can see what they mean. You know, with the obviously it's like I assume that backpack we've got the major battery. You know, maybe the processing core, keep it at the back, so you have to shoot. You know, seeing it be pointed at the enemy, that should be the most defended bit on it because it's you have to shoot through it to get it. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, okay. But look at, I mean, obviously it's still biped, which is actually when you're looking at robots it's much easier to do a quadruped, as you can see of all the ones they got at the moment. You've seen, I think, is it Spot, the one from Boston Robotics? Have you not seen Boston?
Yeah, no, I'm well aware of it. I didn't know it was called Spot.
I think it's called Spot. You know, it's quadruped.
The yellow one, yeah.
The yellow one, yeah. And you know, because obviously it's much easier to have you could lift up one leg to do things or move, and you've still got 3 points of balance that can maintain balance while one leg is doing the movement. Whereas with a biped, it's a lot. Every movement of one foot you have to balance. You have to move your balance, center balance to the foot that's remaining still, and then the first foot lands down, and the balance has to keep shifting between them. So while you're in the movement, you only have to knock one leg off to knock them off balance. Quadrupeds would be better. I mean, that's just. I must have a hyena or something. There's a hyena or something. Yeah, there we go.
I mean, bipeds, quadrupeds, hexapods, dodecapods. It doesn't.
Optimus Octa.
I also went to 12 as well.
I know, which I don't know where it's not actually in the game, but still. But like this sort of thing. I mean,
I'm pretty sure hexapods aren't in. Oh no, they are, aren't they? No, the spiders are 4 legs, aren't they?
I can't remember. I think I thought one of them had 6 legs, but I can't remember. Yeah. Oh well. But anyway, yeah. So here's your quadruped. Much, in my opinion, better design. For most balancing things. It is a lot more effort, I guess. You got a lot more processing to do, but it's so much more stabler. Yeah. Let's go back to another mower.
The level of effort is like process. Like I don't know what level of thought I should put into this. Like, should I think of it in terms of a real machine, or should I actually think of it as in just the fantasy element or the strategic element? I mean, like, one of the nice things about it is the fact that the mower has a smaller silhouette, which means it's easier to attack from different directions. The problem with the hyenas is that they have a much larger silhouette, so you basically have to mount guns everywhere. But the thing is, the hyenas are so much more mobile than that of the mowers, so it doesn't matter because it will just turn around.
Yeah, well, no, what the mower?
No, the hyena.
Well, actually, that's the thing I was going to say, that the mower has an advantage over it, because if you see here, it's basically quite simple. The mowers do follow a kind of fundamental, like a tank design, a turret, one single turret at the top. Being at the top, it's got 360-degree view around it. I mean, I think this, for instance, I've just picked on here, this railgun mower, it's actually much better than the basic mower, because you've got the backpack here, doesn't hang between the legs, it's with the body. The basic mower did hang down. I was thinking you probably could snipe it through the legs, kind of thing. But you see here, it's very low, minimal of this. This clearly like backpack, but it's clearly where processing and battery is the most important part. And this is why it's much more protected. But anyway, you got your turret at the top, which is it's got 360-degree view, and also because of the way the legs work, it can rise and duck between cover just straight up and down really easily. It could even run. It could even run away while shooting backwards. But if I just go back to, let's go to the, what were we on? I was going for jackal. Jackal? No, hyenas, wasn't it?
Hyena.
I can't spell hyena. There we go. Let's go for one of these.
Who really
So
can?
the gun, if you look at the gun, it looks quite fixed forward.
Yeah.
There's a penta embedded in this one for some reason. Anyway, yeah, it looks fixed forward, so you can't move away while shooting. And obviously, if you look at the back of the animal or the creature, it's not armored at the back. This is, compared to the front, which I assume this is some form of armor. So
you saying that, it kind of makes me want to have like there's more I'd like it if there was more locational damage in Warframe, because right now that just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're trying to simplify, because it is a horde shooter. Do you really want to put the effort into getting behind every single enemy in order to actually do more damage? I think you want to limit it to just specific enemies. Or maybe even trials. Man, that thing's got a big. Oh, okay, never mind.
This one, yeah. I thought I clicked through them, just have a quick look, and I was like, okay, I'm sure there's some I haven't seen yet, but still. What is that? Orb Valis, lobs ice grenades and fires electric. Where's the ice grenades come out? A little slot on the top.
At the top.
Yeah.
It's a catapult.
Okay.
It just flings them. Anyway, so.
No, I do agree with you on the locational damage. It would bring more investment into the game. But the problem is that the time to kill on most enemies is just so bloody short.
Yeah.
This is why, and I still hold to it, that one of my favourite mobs in the game, and I'll never forget it, so it got me into the game, was fighting this thing originally. Trying to farm my rhino. I love this boss. It's the second boss normally on Venus. It was originally, and because you started on Mercury, you went to Venus, got to this first Warframe you could farm because Vor was on Mercury as the boss. He only dropped the Seer and the Cronus. Yes, so this was your first chance to farm a new Warframe beyond your starter one. And originally, the drop chance wasn't 100%, and there was a risk that when dying, it could drop people to save.
Through the floor.
It could drop it through the floor. So this was first thing. And this, to me, I remember fighting the old version of this. I thought it was amazing. It felt like I was playing a free-to-play Metal Gear Solid fight. I was like, wow, this thing's freaking amazing. It was like there was ospreys coming out the wall, dropping mines everywhere. They'd have to do it. And I was trying to solo it because groups always annoyed me and it would cause issues. And I had to try and slash down. I would have to hide behind pillars and shoot until I ran out of ammo, and then I was slash dashing through it and trying to melee it with the old melees. Amazing. This one of the boss fights that got me into Warframe heavily, massively. And even still, I love this even the classic, well, it's probably the updated model, I guess, in some ways, but it's still great. I just love this boss. It's one of my favourites.
Thinking about it, one thing I would like to see more. I know Kavats are supposed to do this where they jump on a wall and pounce off of it.
Yeah.
I would like to see it if mowers could like hang from ceilings and sort of like move along the ceilings or even flat surface walls,
Walls,
right?
yeah, I'd love to see them more robotic character, and also the infested should do it as well. Move up a wall, hug a wall, and become a turret. That way it'd be fixed. You wouldn't have to keep chasing it. But
Yeah,
just as an interesting concept, I think it'd be quite good. Yeah.
yeah,
But as a quadruped, so as I was saying, designing on a fundamental thing outside the game, I think that this is the best, even better than the hyena, because it's just, it's just amazing. This is warfare in the future will look like this sort of thing.
There's oh god, what's the I can't remember. There's another type of corpus unit. It's the little yellow robot thing. Do you have?
Oh, I probably do. I know what you mean. Oh God, what is that
Is there? It's
called?
there. It's the bottom row.
Oh yeah, rattles.
Yeah,
Yeah, there we go.
yeah. Like these things, I think are a genius design because like one of the big fundamental issues with these fuckers is that they're hard to hit.
Mm.
Right? They're quick. They nip at your heels, trying to follow them to destroy them. Yeah, they're easy to destroy, but like, could you just imagine a more durable version of this?
Yeah. Well, they
I'm
spawn
pretty
out
sure
of the I don't know what it's supposed to represent grid they slip
the
down.
pocket teleporter.
Yeah, I assume it's supposed to be some form of teleport platform because it's like I can't believe it assembles this sort of thing from nowhere. So I'd assume it's like a me portable teleport thing. So yeah, maybe a bigger one which drops, which shoots these at you. It'd be amazing. I do like the design of it as well. Quite small. I don't know quite what it's supposed to represent. Like, is it sort of like energy sleds or how? I mean, how is it propelling itself? Not clearly can't be like farting out that little thing on its where its tail is, could it? I have no idea.
Yeah, it could do.
Oh, well, I guess, yeah. But there's also what else I was going to think? Oh, the arachnoids. Let's go have a look at arachnoids. Which one should we look at? Let's go for what's this? Ah, there we go. You see, I think this is just a bit too big compared to the other ones. Also, the leg structure is, I don't think that's quite as stable.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I think this is actually quite stable for moving over rough terrain.
Yeah.
And you see these over Orbalis.
Is the small? Why do I have the small one? Is that the small? Where's the small one? Is it not arachnoid? Where's the Diddy one? No.
Yeah, none of those one.
Yeah. It must not be called arachnoid. Maybe is it like mite or something? No. Have a quick. I must have scanned it. I mean, if anything, that's the most common one. Can't remember what they're called. There's a Nuka. What's an Azoth? What the hell are you?
That's the hunter, the Zanuka hunter, the one that comes after you during.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure it is.
No, that's that.
I got it wrong.
I don't know what an Azoth is. Oh well, okay. Bondle dropship. Auditor. Oh well, can't remember. But while we're just flicking through these and talking about them, there's something just historically for the game. It's something I'm really sad that they never expanded more on. Was that they did have the events when they started bringing back things like the. Well, there's still things I didn't scan clearly.
No, scroll down towards the bottom of your list.
Yeah.
Is that it there? That blue one in the middle.
That's Exploiter.
Oh, never mind.
Go.
Sweet, delicious Exploiter.
Yeah, okay. Leave that on the screen for it. Yeah, I love the double legs. Just freaking amazing. Oh God, why isn't there more of these? Yeah. So anyway, I'll put this on screen because this is actually a perfect example for it. So I was hoping they used to have things called the Proxy Rebellion. It was just an excuse to make a different alert style map that gave you a chance to get old event gear where you only fought. It was a bit different because you only fought proxies and just pure proxies. One of the first times you could actually fight hyenas outside the boss fight as well. That was a good excuse for them to do it. But I just love that as a concept. It's like, so the Orokin obviously had the sentience, which, let's be fair, I know it's my pet talking point. What now? I mean, they could try and they literally have to try and restart the sentient plot because at the moment they have what? There's Hunhao hiding in the water, and that's it. I can't believe he's going to get Lotus on his side or anything like that. Error is
I thought there was supposed to be something. No, I thought there was supposed to be something like Hun Hao is dying,
Yeah,
and
it was some
that's why.
freaking yeah, whatever. He's just chilling in his mum's basement with his drinking buddy. That's all he's doing. I don't care if he's dying. If he's dying, makes it even weaker because it's just stupid. So yeah, as I was saying, so the sentient plot as a whole, which is was supposed to be our enigmatic, different thinking enemy that was completely alien to us. Would think differently. That's been taken away from us. Why not revisit the Proxy Rebellion and make them a proper faction? So that we have the proxies gaining AI and becoming it's the sentients are the failure of the Orokin. Why don't the proxies become the failure of the corpus?
I want to say autonomous AI.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And what I think would be good is sort of like an event kind of thing, because like Loz and I are really like, we feel that there's no life to the game at the moment. Well, I certainly do, because there's no events and things like that anymore. Why not have it that thematically the a new corpus character who may remain nameless, or they are trying to create an autonomous AI, and effectively they let this AI loose, right? Or the AI gets loose, and it becomes like the mastermind or the overmind. Fuck, what was it called in StarCraft?
Overmind.
It was the overmind.
It was the Overmind.
Where,
by the way, just before you correct, just to say, people, I need to put in the comments, the Rachnoid I was looking for is called Might Rachnoid. I clearly haven't scanned them. There are several Rachnoids I'm in fact missing from my list. So yeah,
fair. But so basically what this autonomous AI ends up doing is it sort of upgrades, or it links into the proxies and starts getting them to behave differently. Things like climbing on the walls, right? Things like, I mean, heck, it could actually detach the satellites. I mean, like the work D would have to put into it would be crazy, but it detaches the satellites off of the nullifiers and then attaches them to freaking Ambulus. It could do also, and then basically after the event is over, it kind of goes away, and then but the AI is rebuilding itself through neural networks, because everyone fucking loves neural networks.
Yeah.
Neural networks.
No, I could totally see, let's say, Alad V next project is that, like, right, well, Tenno always win. I've got to make synthetic Tenno AI to defeat them.
Okay, I'm fine for Alad V to be involved as he stole it or something.
Yeah, it's like everything. It's gonna turn on him, and he'll have to abandon it, and it becomes its own thing. I'm just literally using him as the go-to excuse for everything, which is what happens.
Yeah.
But for one of his damn projects to just actually be a success, but not a success for him, is what I was wanting. So again, like, I guess, like the Mutalist strain, it just breaks free of his control and goes off. So.
And what they could do is have like, yeah, let's put it on a planet, and then there's a sabotage on that planet where you're actually sabotaging the overmind itself. You're corrupting the overmind, and just you end up killing it when then the proxies start acting back to their base code, so they don't start latching onto walls again or whatever. Yeah. And then there's an excuse to bring it back, and so on and so forth.
But I love Ambulus's remake, because it was one of the later ones to be done forever. The longest time was just a mower that kicked you a lot. Now, replaced with this one. I absolutely love this and wish there was just more to it. Could you imagine fighting like a big one, this sort of the size of Metal Gear Rex style?
That's what, a Gauntlist size? I don't think it's a Hydralist size.
Yeah, probably somewhere around there. Yeah.
Definitely bigger than a Terrorist.
But I'd just love to see them, Corpus release that kind of size proxy. It would just be so cool. Bigger things. That's the one thing. I love that the Eidolons were such an interesting fight. The problem is, in my opinion, you're forever looking up on a uneven landscape where all the grass is in the way. Most of the times you pan the camera
Yeah.
down and you're in the reeds trying to look up and all these particle effects. Could you imagine if you got to fight that in a warehouse like Metal Gear X from the original Metal Gear Solid? That's what you want, where it's just like, no, it's a flat floor, so you get the time to actually look up and appreciate what you're doing. Just
I think also it's dependent, like it should be based on how you fight it. Like you should try and keep away from it. Because that's again one of the problems is the fact that you're just constantly up the Hydralist's butt trying to kill it.
Mm.
You know?
And then we
Cool.
haven't discussed the Humble Osprey.
I like the Ospreys and things, but I wish that they had more offensive variations.
Yeah,
Not
definitely.
I mean the so when it comes to the Ospreys, oh actually thinking about it, they could do Nama stuff where yeah, maybe the AI is based off the Nama sentient sorry, I'm just completely tangent.
Go with it.
I love the well, it was basically the autonomous AI could be part of Nama.
Yeah.
Um, you know, it just does it's Nama based things, but like I dislike the fact that realistically the only offensive osprey we have is the Oxium osprey that ultimately commits suicide because it is the resource giver for the Oxium.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that
And
always gets me about these, right? If you look, it has these, what it's supposed to be like its tail, does look like two
mm,
bloody guns. And it always
mm,
seems weird to me that when I open its limbs, it didn't ever point those up and forward. They just hover down like that. Those could easily have been guns that it would be shooting at you from an
I think
offensive
no,
range.
I think they are guns that they shoot at you from
No, but it
before it
doesn't.
suicides.
Yeah, maybe it's suicide, but I've never seen it actually pull up the tail web. And the other thing that gets me, and I'll show you the Raptor in a sec, because at least they did it on one, is these
Mm.
wings, they never put anything on the external or the internal thing. Like, you could put a gun in the chest or a bomb in or just anything in the chest or under the inside the wings. I think the only one where they did this one, I think, is if I go here, Raptor. Please say I've got it scanned. Yes. Ooh, oh, there's 3 Raptors I've got here. So the Raptor is the only one where it's exactly the same model underneath it, but just with attachments on. As you see, it's actually got attachments on the wings. I think something on the head there as well, actually. And I wish they did more things like this, because it's such an easy way of just get the existing. Oh, there you go. Look at those chunky wings. That looks so cool. And that one does actually bring it. Oh, it's actually got a shorter tail. Its guns feel like pointed up a bit more. But yeah, see, I just love that they got this external stuff of the wing. They really could have done more with that instead of just recoloring them. Just slapping a few extra bits and bobs onto the wings makes it feel completely different and more inventive. I have that head as well. We've got several here. I assume these are all the same. Yep, there we go. Which one's this? Terra Elite Raptor. Ooh, look at that. Chunky boy. And then Terra Raptor SX. Wow. Deploys
So
a
that's where
Rabbleback
Microsoft got the
hyena.
name.
It deploys a hyena. What the hell? I don't remember where these things are from. Apparently, this one deploys a hyena. Not deploys from a hyena. This thing deploys hyenas. I don't know how it does that. Look at that.
No, surely it's like because there's 3 raptors you have to destroy at the raptor plant. Maybe they're not all the same.
Sorry, it's a fly. Oh well, I don't know.
So
So yeah, that's it. I think for all the different proxies going through it. But back to let's just go back to the classic Moa. There you are. It all began. So yeah, back to it. So let's just see what did they suggest? Extreme utility, small flame, just the essentials. Yeah, I mean the gun up top, basic, effective. I see you could mass produce these. In fact, I remember for the longest time the old Corpus Lore entry was just. Do you remember the original one? Back when like War's Prize was just a page that said "All War's Prize coming soon" kind of thing.
yes.
The Corpus page literally was like 1 crewman and then about 40 mowers just in
Oh
storage.
yeah.
Remember that one? It's like
The diorama.
the diorama,
Yeah,
the old one, yeah. And that's the ratio I was expecting, but it just I don't know. I just want to see more from them, more.
Well, hopefully that they had the survey question for that 2022 survey, Warframe survey. Do you feel that it's too sparsely populated? And the answer is yes.
Yeah, definitely.
More horde.
Definitely. More horde, yeah, more horde. More horde. Right, should we go to replies?
Yep.
Okay, so Corpus robots in general are just really well designed, but I feel like we're going to see mowers in the next couple of decades. What?
Well, someone's not been watching the Boston Dynamics videos.
I think they could build a mower if they wanted to.
Yeah, but I mean, the big thing is So all these robots, like there's lots of, oh man, robots are so cool. Like, oh, why don't they build giant robots and shit like this in real life? The sheer amount of force you have to generate to move something that heavy
Yeah, no, I give you giant
is,
robots. I love giant robots, but they could never exist.
but even so, something like this, right? You'd have to slim it down. You'd have to make it out of plastics and things like that in order to actually get it to be nearly as mobile as something like a mower. Look how
Oh,
thin the dogs are from Boston Dynamics. They're weedy little fuckers.
yeah. But that's that. Okay, but no, there's a bit of trade off there. If you go look at a good one to do it was Honda's robot through the ages, and
Yeah,
it has gotten smaller because it's also until they absolutely have the technology exactly where they want. It's better to practice on a smaller scale model, less chance of it breaking, less effort put into it. But that's how they trim down, especially circuitry and everything is a lot smaller now, and processors and chips and things. But if you look at that's the mass production version of Spot. If you look at the one they built to test Spot, it's actually a big chunky thing. It's much bigger.
oh yeah, I'm well aware.
And they kick it and everything and try and push it, So
it's the bull one.
Yeah, but the mowers aren't that big. I think they could build mowers today. I think. I mean, I'm not saying they would do everything that a mower could do, but I mean, they could make a thing that looks like a mower and it would do exactly what mowers.
Yeah, I think the big thing is like we would need to program it to be able to. Like, I think the program would have to be a lot more complex than what they are like today.
For what?
Well, for the mobility, for the movement and stuff.
Have you not seen? I think it's Atlas. The biped.
Yeah.
You've seen its agility.
Yeah, it's still not as high as a mower.
Okay, but remember video game, and also remember video game has silly points where like when an enemy NPC needs to jump and it just goes whoop.
Yeah, that's true.
So the mobility of the mower is like a very questionable thing. I think you could build it might not be exactly as quick or as ever, but or as fluid. But I think you could build one these days. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Actually, mowers are, compared to our tech, super advanced. They certainly are not expendable. I guess otherwise the corpus would have replaced all their troops by them. Two-legged robots, able to run and sprint, jumping several meters high over huge distances. What? Using weapons, maintaining balance while kicking, and all the other things is a massive deal already. Running around sharp corners, insane speeds without falling to the ground with literally no real visible power supply, etc. What are you talking about? It's got a freaking back. Look at this.
What are you talking about? There's like freaking that thing on the back.
Oh, you can't see my mouse. Yeah, freaking backpack.
It's the butt pack.
I mean, and that backpack doesn't seem that big for that size robot with our technology, let alone future technology.
I mean, to be fair, our battery technology is actually improving quite significantly recently.
Well, I know the big thing that's hopefully coming soon is solid-state lithium batteries.
I thought we were moving away from lithium.
No, we use liquid lithium, not solid liquid.
We
haven't even got that yet.
Right.
So it'd be a solid-state one, which is wouldn't. The problem with the ones we got now is that they like grow little crystal trees in them because they're liquid, whereas these ones just wouldn't have that issue. So. And you can make them smaller again, so which is always the big thing. But anyway, so yeah, futuristic space age technology. This seems fine. Next point.
What was it? Transparent aluminium.
Yes, or as said in the film, transparent aluminum.
Sure.
Hello, computer. Keyboard. How quaint. Next one. I like the whole programmable gun with legs thing with the original mower armed with the Dera. I don't know like Dera.
Okay.
I believe, I like the whole programmable gun with legs thing. With the original mower armed with the Dera, I believe the opportunity to turn a profit by producing new variants is smart. The bots are efficient as well.
I mean, I have an alternative. Like, have the mower that goes around and then just like seals doors. So as soon as a Tenno is detected, like loads of mowers just pop up next to doors, and they just like
you've got a meme you'll like this week, by the way. Then if you're thinking,
oh really?
There's a meme for you this week. Complaining about doors. Right, the last reply this week is just chopped off. Oh, just chopped off Solaris people's legs and duct taped a gun on top.
Oh my god.
Prototype mower, that is.
The power of cyborgs.
Deary me. Right, yes, that's it for that topic. Shall we move on to topic 2?
Sure. Okay, topic 2. One of the operator's voice lines about the infestation got me thinking. The line is, the infested, an Orokin weapon that backfired. And I'm like, did the Orokin actually create a weapon that backfired? Their track record is horrible. Sentience turned on the Orokin and nearly wiped them out. Infested turned on everything and nearly overwhelmed the system. Tenno, an inadvertent.
Mm-hmm.
I can read apparently. Creation at first, and a very deliberate one that turned on the Orokin and destroyed their empire. I'm not quite sure if you realize what happens when you have a dictatorship. People don't like being dictated to. That's why we have computers do it these days. No, I'm joking. So, there's a lot of lore elements to this. So, originally the sentients weren't weapons. And I still don't fundamentally understand the logic behind this. So the set, maybe you've understood it better. Maybe there's a piece of information you have, Loz, that I don't have. So the Orokin, who finally agreed to construct the sentience, allow them to be made, sent the sentience to Tau to build, from my understanding, one end of a gateway, allowing for a direct link between the origin system and the Tau system.
I'm not sure if it was definite to. Well, not a portal. You mean maybe a solar rail? I think would be the term.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Like my understanding was it was like the term thrown around was a gate, but regardless.
No, I think it was solar rail actually, because I think there's another line somewhere else that says about how they stop the sentience coming back through that solar rail by smashing the equivalent solar rail in our system, so there was no connecting on this end. I think there's a line about that somewhere actually.
So, again, my understanding is that the sentience took the long way to get to Tau, right? So that the sentience could reproduce in order to actually build the solar rail in Tau for, the Orokin to expand its empire. But why did the sentience come back through the void when the void was poisonous to them?
Oh, okay. I'm not entirely sure on the thing of this. We'd have to get like one of your, the lore hounds in to give us the proper thing. I'm not sure how they sent them to Tau. They may have actually sent them to Tau through the void, and it's okay. Like they could survive a little bit of poisoning, but then if they came back again, that would permanent poison. But the poisoning thing it would do to them is it would stop their duplication.
It made them fertile.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. I'm using the term loosely.
Oh,
they couldn't replicate.
They can't. They lose the ability to replicate. Yeah, that my understanding. I can't remember it. So that it's just the quicker way back. I'm not sure because I don't remember anything about the Orokin having to wait ages for them to be sent there. You see, but I can't believe that.
Well,
but if they use some sort of mechanical method, not void based, to send them out there, like I don't know, a big gun, then the sentients could have built a big railgun to send themselves back. So yeah,
like it feels really odd because. It's just like I don't understand if they were sent, even if they were sent there the long way, right? Why didn't they just come back the long way to wage their war?
Now, I think that was supposed to be what happened, but let's be honest and let's be fair. I don't think there is any I wouldn't even be confused. I bet Steve would probably be able to give you an actual definition of what happened, why sentience, where it came from. There is just
Oh.
they wanted sentience, and then there was sentience. How did they get back? Well, they were in Tau. How are they here now? They're here now. Were they just here now? Okay, really? Does it matter all about like what took them so long? The whole thing with the mother, that whole plot line, that whole backstory, the whole continuity there was just upended into the trash bin. Just for Anama. Should we go into the depths about the sentience being back? What that means? No. They just all follow Ballast for some reason, and they've made Nama, and they're happy with that. Aren't they intelligent? Aren't they? Oh, but Era's fine with it. What about the rest? Are they even conscious? What's going on? No, Nama. Oh, but Nama. It's so I don't even think like there is actually a proper answer to your questions on this. I just think they were like we eventually knew we had to do the sentient thing, and then halfway through development they got rid of the whole sentient thing of it and came up with an armor thing of it and Ballast and that storyline, and then they were like, so how have the sentients done X, Y, or Z? Yes.
The only thing I can think of is that the sentients were sent to the Tau system, as you described, via some magical Orokin means, railgun. And then the only thing, so they built the solar rail, but then the only way that they could get back was to use the void. But then there's the whole thing about Ballast cracking open the sun, consuming the sun in order to go to Oh.
No, well,
I think it's best not to think about this anymore.
No. Well, I could attempt to hand wave that one a bit, saying that like Ballast wanted to move that entire ship back. By the way, that entire ship I think came back the long way. Because remember that whole big ship, which was supposed to be Mother on and everything.
What was it called?
The stupid ship. The stupid ship.
Okay.
The stupid
Loz
ship
refuses to remember. Okay,
yeah.
The stupid ship.
And then he was going to move the stupid ship back to Tau through the void, which the sentients were apparently okay with.
Yeah, it's weird because like
and it must have been the void because it must have been a portal through the void or using the void because the bloody man in the wall came out of it. So it can't just be like, oh, it was making a normal portal that opened up into the void. Like no, the man fucking out of the wall came out of the bloody thing. He was making a void portal, and the sentients being poisoned by the void were going to come back. We're going to go to Tau through the thing. The whole sentience trash can bin. That's what happened. So just hand wave.
Are we going to leave them there?
That's where they have been left. If they try and bring back Era or whatever, I'm just going to be like, just what are you doing? You're now trying to resuscitate a dead horse at that point. So
okay, so let's move on.
Well, we're supposed to be talking about the infested, which again still are open-ended.
We're going to get there. We're going to get there. So I mean, the first point that they had was like the sentients turned on the Orokin and nearly wiped them out.
Oh, okay.
We're not even sure if that is true.
What the sentients
nearly wiped out the Orokin?
Yeah. Or they're on the verge to. They would have if that's why they made the warframes and they had to hand them over to the if they were losing the war. Come on,
if we're talking about the Orokin Empire, sure.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was taking it verbatim that they meant specifically the Orokin species.
Kind of one and the same, really.
Because the Grineer and the Corpus were part of the Orokin Empire.
Yes. But the Orokin were like, from what basically we understand, there wasn't a mad amount of them, and they were in charge of the Empire. So if there's no more Empire, they couldn't look after themselves. That's why they needed all these other people to do all these things for them.
Why don't you go do a bounty?
I'm trying to look for emblems. I'm going to give up on that because there is none. It's actually said busy, and I was like, oh, let's have a look at that. Right, I'm actually just going to go chill and shoot things in an ekmak and check out the orange stuff.
You set it to private?
Yeah.
Cool. Right. So let's move on to the infested, which was the next point. Infested on everything and nearly overwhelmed the system. We only have the odd lore tidbit about this.
Yeah.
Because I mean, unless there's lore elements that I don't know about, we have is it Once Awake?
Yes.
Which is about the whole, oh god, what was the doctor's name? The Green Doctor who Tengus, where Tengus basically reawakens the infestation. Deimos fully infested. Eris fully infested. Right? Here's a question for you.
So
Do you think
I thought you were going to comment on the
what?
Look,
What am I looking at?
nothing.
Yeah, I actually went and played on
So little orange stuff.
I know. I went and actually played on it this week. I was really enjoying playing on the on Deimos because there's just so little orange
We'll have
crap.
to do 24 hours at some point. Then.
Oh God! Right, okay.
Well, at least we could now do 24 hours without you dying.
Without my eyes. I mean, it still gives me a headache trying to focus, like to But anyway, this was I mean, I could just throw back some painkillers, but okay. So my question for you, Eris, do you think Eris became infested post Once Awake, or do you think it was always infested?
What, this?
No, this
Eris.
is Deimos.
Oh, Eris. You mean the spaceships?
Yeah.
That's. I think that's more tied to the Mutalisk strain stuff. I mean, I don't. I think the Once Awake quest almost kind of tries to make out that that was the whole thing about release of infestation into the system. But I always liked the concept that there were also some on the derelicts, and people were plumbing the depths of the derelicts, and some got out that way as well.
Okay.
So I mean, it doesn't make sense. It was, if it was a infestation release from one place in the solar system, especially that the infestation, we've yet to see them do anything with spaceships. They're not like, say, for instance, the 40k Tyranids, which have
That's not true. That's not true. We've seen the infested use the Corpus cargo ships when the hunt for Alad V. Do you remember when we had to go destroy those ships?
Yes, okay, I give you that. They can take over a spaceship, I guess. Yeah, but it would be quite hard for them to, from that one release point, take over a whole bloody, attack everyone in the solar system. So I like the concept that some are also released from
other points,
especially Corpus digging into Orokin derelicts they find lying around. Makes perfect sense. That's how their ships get infected. And then also, I think the massive increase in the Eris sort of ship stuff was down to Aladvi and his attempt to build the Mutalisk strain. I much prefer it being multiple things rather than just the one incident.
Because it feels weird just being the one incident.
Yeah, especially it's just like kind of fibbly and
Okay. So the next question I have is, what do you think it is about, the Grineer and the the Corpus that wander? I mean, they have specific names. Can I remember? Is it Garv, Gary, Griselda?
Gary.
I am going to put it. The Grineer, the fucking mission, which is with the bonus of get double the Grineer's points in killing infested.
I mean the sniper bots.
Yeah, Garv and
the sniper bots.
Yeah. So by the way, they are better now. They are still ridiculous, right? They're still utterly ridiculous. But regardless, what do you think? How are they not becoming infested themselves?
Because they're sniper bots.
They're shooting out all the viruses.
No, they you don't get close enough. I can imagine it's like the infested overwhelm people, and they don't get close enough.
The floor's fucking infested. The grass is fucking infested.
Nah, I think it needs to be. They're wearing boots, man.
They're wearing boots.
Yeah. So with Grineer, I mean, that you said actually, in fact, they're not just freaking wearing boots. Sorry, they have freaking robotic legs.
Okay, yeah, but we got fucking infested mowers. That's a robot 100%. And that seems to bloody become corrupted.
We didn't get those until the Mutalisk strain.
And this one's the grey strain?
This one's the grey strain. Yeah, in fact, I mean, they may have released more since, but they were originally Mutalisk ones. The same with the Ospreys. But I would say the Mutalisk strain, which makes sense. So this is, the grey strain. So I don't think it has as good a capacity for infecting... I mean, hey, it doesn't infect necromechs. No infested necromech.
True. I'd love to know what the rules are for the infestation.
Whatever Steve remembers this week.
Okay,
I'm
not to
not
be
being
overly
mean, but
critical.
yeah, I'm
Not
being
to be
mean.
overly critical.
Yeah.
I would love to know what the rules are for how the infestation works. Because I don't think
I
it's
don't
been
think there
thought
is
through.
any. Yeah, well, it's not
Yeah,
been. No, 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 no. Don't say thought through. Say fleshed out. Because it
sure.
also
Okay,
works
I
because
don't.
infestation, fleshed out,
Yeah, I
but
don't
also
think it's been
that, yeah,
fleshed out.
I don't think it's been fleshed out. I think it's just kind of whatever they want. They just wanted that call of enemy, sort of biological sort of, style of what we got, Tyrannid / flood
Mm.
style sort of thing, and then they just went with it. That's it. All to it. Oh man, could you imagine?
Uh,
Could you? Sorry, I
well,
just thought something. Right. The whole
well.
thing they were trying to come up with new game modes to or reuse the
Hmm.
playing as Corpus and Grineer, yeah?
Hmm.
A game mode.
If you fucking say Battle Royale
Oh,
in
no,
the
no, 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 you're going to be happy with this.
okay.
The Thing game mode.
Oh,
Wouldn't that be awesome?
oh, damn! That's terrorist in So was it Trouble in Terror Town?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
oh, okay. So for anyone that hasn't watched John Carpenter's The Thing,
So
right?
good.
First off, you really should. If you like sci-fi horror movies, it's such an iconic film. It's so goddamn amazing. But if you're squeamish, don't watch it.
Practical effects
The
still live up to today, so don't, yeah.
oh god, well, practical effects are amazing. Just don't
Yeah.
fucking do anything else.
No, no,
Like
no,
I
no, no, that's not fair. I think the best is practical effects augmented by CG is the best.
oh, I don't know. I've seen some that I just utter
Oh yeah,
trash.
yeah, there are some that are trash, but I think that in general you're on a better grounding
Yeah.
if you rather than pure CG. If I had to choose one between pure CG and practical effects augmented by CG, I'd always go with practical effects augmented by CG.
Yeah, and like it's still crazy how in Jurassic Park, the first Jurassic, sorry, we're going
Yeah.
on a slight tangent. The first Jurassic Park, you know the T-Rex that gets through the
Yep.
fence, right? That was pure CG, right? It was one of the only instances where they got the shading right, the lighting right, the skin texture right. And it's like, what, a 91,
Yeah.
92 movie? I was like, how the fuck are we fucking it up now?
Yeah. I mean, what? Sorry,
So
when did you say it came out with? When?
was
90.
it 91?
What? I think what we're still running on like your 486 back then, aren't we?
No, it's not. It wasn't that
Oh,
old.
okay.
But what you call it? It's like, I mean, I at least had a P90 at that point.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay. Not far off.
anyway, but the yeah, so it's like it's crazy. But I think the big thing was it was down to the compositing rather than just doing it all in 3D simulations and stuff.
Hmm.
So they had to composite the rain on. They had to composite all. It looks phenomenal. Anyway, regardless of that, let's talk back to what we were talking about, which was the thing. The idea is that effectively it's like the corpus or the grenade, basically non-infested, and there's an infested person, and they have to, basically infect everyone else, I assume, or murder.
Yes.
It's Among Us. It's fucking Among Us,
Yeah.
right? You know. So I would love to see something like that, and I would prefer it in a enclosed space.
Yeah, so I imagine
Because
you could do
yeah,
you do different settings, and one would just be, and the basic one to start with would be the corpus across the outpost tile set, because we be like the Antarctic sort of style, proper going for the thing. Oh, and sorry, Among Us. No, actually, it's a bit different to Among Us. In Among Us, your goal is to kill your allies, whereas in the thing, you would infect other people, and then
yeah,
they would have to join in with you. So
yeah. So it would be interesting to see that in Warframe,
yeah, I think it could work.
as long as people don't just start screaming. So killed me.
No, but you wouldn't be killed. That's the thing. You would then that's the thing with Among Us is that once you die, you openly want the other people who killed you to fail. Whereas in the thing, your win objective has now changed. You now want to. You are now the alien. You switch sides. You don't remain on the same side but lose agency.
Yeah, but you would have to have, like, you would have to balance it.
Oh, of
Like
course.
they would have,
Balancing is
yeah.
always the thing.
Anyway, So that's the infested. No one fucking knows. The infested were created to fight the sentience, if memory serves.
I think it was released to fight the sentience. I don't think originally designed because it's tricky. Is it still linking to Dark Sector? Is it the technocyte virus or
No,
not?
no, throw that away. Just throw that away. Just like I pay homage to it. Say spiritual successor, predecessor, whatever you want to say, but don't take anything from
Dark
crap.
Sector
What
is
was your
canon.
Dark Sector? Yeah, just don't. I'm more prepared to take the little cinematic thing that they did as the precursor to Dark Sector as canon over Dark Sector itself.
Right, fair enough.
So, okay, then we've got the Tenno, an inadvertent creation at first, and then a very deliberate one that turned on the Orokin and destroyed their empire. Now, I'm going to give Loz his due rant about how is there more than one Tenno. I'll take that as he's done that. And I
I save that for cinematic quests or when there's anything official. So yeah.
I feel that first off, skipping the warframes as its own independent weapon, I think is a bit of a whoopsie on this regard, because the warframes were weapons prior to the Tenno. I mean, call them proto frames or whatever you want to call them. But in the sacrifice, and this is probably one of the few good things that came out of the sacrifice, is this lore tidbit. Warframes couldn't cope mentally, and they offed themselves.
I thought they rebelled as well.
I don't think they rebelled. I think they just killed themselves because all they could experience was the tragedy that was keeping them in line. Yeah.
I could, if I wasn't fighting this, I'd quickly go check the sacrifice.
Do you want me to check?
Yeah, go check the what Balor says in his little, what do you call it?
Is there a transcript on
More likely is, yeah.
Oh, good old wiki. Warframe wiki. Do you want to do any talking while I do this, or should I just
I
ramp?
remembered it being more that they were uncontrollable, which I thought you would agree with. I think more, along with more of a Guyver-esque storyline where they created a weapon to try and use it, and it was a good weapon, but it was just uncontrollable. I mean, warframes are still, by basic function, a success. They do what they were meant to do. It's just, it's a bit tricky to, I imagine, throw them at the enemy and, not... You don't have to produce them in large enough numbers, but if you do that, it's very hard to gather enough and then release them all at once, and then have to deal with the like, okay, great, we now need to move them from Battlefield A to Battlefield B. You're gonna have to put them back in their boxes, and if they're not controllable, that's one of the issues because they ain't going back in the box once they're out. Yeah, exactly the same as happened in your precious, it's still good, Guyver storyline where you had the Zonoids made the units and put them on just basic people, and they're like, it wasn't that they were classed as a failure, but it wasn't because that they weren't powerful or anything. It's just they couldn't control them, and then they just rebelled and they had superpowers. So it was like, right, what do we do with
So
this?
you're talking about the creators, not the Zonoids.
It's the creators, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, the creators. They thought they would run an experiment, which was to give a unit to
Not a Zonoid, but just a basic person sort of thing. Yeah,
just a human, and the sheer volume of power that a basic human had, it scared them to the point of they pulled the plug on the experiment and they threw the moon at the Earth, because they were scared that Arkenfell, their powerful Zoalord, would end up getting a Guyver unit and just completely destroy the creators. But Arkenfell stopped the moon from colliding with the Earth, and then went into a big sleep.
Why didn't they put the units on themselves?
They did.
The creators.
Yeah, but what's called man was a weapon, right? The creators were not the beings that were the creators weren't weapons organically. Does that make sense?
Huh.
So what's it called? They were out. So the Guyvers were out of control because of the destructive nature of man,
Yes, yeah, I know,
right?
but the creators, why couldn't the creators just put the units? Oh, I suppose they didn't want to risk it. I mean,
No,
like they could, they
no, no,
could wear
no.
the,
They wore them,
yeah.
right? But they didn't have weapons,
Oh,
right? Yeah. The what's it called? The creators, when the creators wore the armor,
yeah,
it just allowed them to do different things, right?
right.
But what's it called? The Guyver enhanced the nature of man and made man too powerful a weapon.
Oh, okay.
So they tried to destroy them. Sorry, that just completely derailed me from looking up the thing.
I was thinking you could do two things at once. Clearly, the answer is no.
I can't read and talk.
Yeah. Well, actually, if you've got the thing for the sacrifice up, just literally search the word Warframe and you should, or ballast, and I'm sure you should.
Yeah, I did search for the term Tenno. Before the vain faith, our people held dualism as truth. That all things were two parts, mind and body, consciousness and matter. It's got to be the previous one. The Warframes, all of them failures. Surprised, they turned on us just as they did you. So just as you did, and so we had no choice but to commit them to graves. You're right. The Orokin killed them. This is all you know, Hun Hao. But the hidden half of the secret that lies within a forbidden place. This is I speak of the void. So basically, yeah, no, the Warframes did rebel. Jesus fucking Christ! The Orokin have a shit track record.
Oh yeah.
They're just crap at their job.
Oh yeah.
So they created the Warframes and they created the Tenno inadvertently. All of them. Do you know what? Stop making weapons. Job done.
You know, most real science advancements are accidents. Yeah.
Yeah, I do know. Yeah, I do know that one actually. So I think was it the oh crap, what was the accident that invented the rocket?
Oh, I don't know that one.
I can't remember that one. I also know the accident with the which called the first ever torpedo. So it had a distance trigger that
Yeah.
after a certain distance it would arm the torpedo so it wouldn't blow up near the submarine, doing irreparable damage to the submarine.
Yeah.
So they, as like their first test, they actually launched the torpedo in a lake to hit a boat, and it should blow up the boat. It hit the boat and didn't blow up the boat, so they got it to turn around and come back. It hit the dock and exploded.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Anyway.
I was just going to go for the antibiotics one, which is just the common go-to one.
Oh yeah. Right.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
No, actually, I heard that one because it was penicillin, wasn't it?
Yeah. Just left the lid off and went away for the weekend. Came back and was like, oh, wait, what's going on here? There we go. Obviously,
apparently
it wasn't.
they did something with like what's it called, distilling the pee and things like that.
Just left the lid off. Think grew on it.
No. After they were administrating it, because it was so difficult to make at that point in
time.
Yeah.
That wasn't even then. It wasn't the actual discovery, and then it will jump from there. It was kind of like, oh, that's interesting. I put out a paper on this, and then later from that discovery, people went, oh, let's experiment on that, and then discovered what it was. But obviously, that's the key point that everything worked from. Yeah.
And then they found like a mold in the States that could actually grow much faster and things like there were conditions. Anyway, so yeah, basically, the Orokins suck at running an empire. So I think they should have gone, hey, you know what's a really good idea? Let's not do the whole sentient thing. Let's just send the corpus and the Grineer to go and make our solar rail on like breeding ships and things like this. What generational ships, and yeah, and then we'll go over there. Because if memory serves, the sentience and the oh gosh, what's the name of the damn things? Grineer were completely subservient to the Orokin.
Yeah, originally.
So, why fucking screw it? One thing I'd like to see sometime is an Archimedean, because we still haven't seen one, apart from the Lotus.
Fair, yeah.
Anyway.
But then you'd have to bring more Orokin back, and to be honest, either if they're going to bring any Orokin back, I want to see the Orokin come back in force, like they were all secret hiding in the void, than just like one or two at a time.
Do you reckon the Orokin should be the planes of Deviri?
Well, eternalism and non-linear time, so in theory, yeah, we could fight some Orokin.
Oh, please don't have Ballast come back.
No, can we not?
Can we not? We really not.
Just more new villains. It's like how, even though I brought him up earlier, like I don't really want Alad V to come back, because I'm just like,
yeah, like one of the biggest. Oh god, fucking bring back Gul'dan. Ugh, right. Should we go to replies?
But it was the jailer's plan all along. Right, I won't stop down into tell you about the latest updates for WoW.
I'm aware.
Right, so replies. To be fair, the sentients weren't really a weapon that backfired so much as a bunch of glorified tractors that backfired.
I disagree with that entirely.
Yeah,
trying to marginalize the sentients as tractors is a bit too far, I think.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't supposed to, like, I don't think they were designed to terraform planets, but they were designed to, basically process the whole solar system ready for Orokin arrival. So,
Orokin eyes. They probably could if they tried.
Orokin form the solar system. Yes. Right. Next. The entire history of Warframe summarized.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
That's why Ballast needed us to build the Paracesis. If he built it himself, it would have turned on him. This is the bit where we throw back our heads and laugh.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
That is actually hilarious.
That's a brilliant one.
Yeah.
Oh dear. It's almost as if the highest class in society should continue to make everything benefit themselves, then maybe other classes will revolt. Shocker. It's almost as if the highest class in society should continue to make everything benefit themselves, then maybe other classes will revolt. Shocker. Yeah. And the last one is, I think it's more that as soon as anything in the Origin system achieves sufficient sentience to see the Orokin for what they are, they become morally compelled to try and exterminate them. The Orokin themselves, being a narcissist as they are arrogant, are perpetually confused by this.
Sure. I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure the queens I can't remember what the crime of the queens was, but they got, they basically became the queens of the Grineer.
Yeah.
I mean, they just like, hey, Grineer, revolt for us. And Grineer were like, okay, we're doing that.
Well, I don't know what it was. I think it's but
just don't fucking oppress anyone, and then people won't want to rebel. How's about instead of making your murder weapons by torturing the victims that you turn into the murder weapons, you just do something else. Like you create them via some less possibly gonna backfire means.
Sounds legit.
Yeah.
Right, that's it for the replies.
Yeah. Kind of makes you think, though, how on earth did the Orokin actually get in power if in the first place. I mean, well, actually, to be fair, it'd probably be a case of that they weren't always like this. They just became like this because through exploitation.
Yeah, technology.
Don't fuck it up.
What are you talking about?
Don't fuck it up.
The fuck what up?
Don't fuck it up.
Oh, sorry, you actually watching me? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm watching it. Don't
No,
fuck it up.
now I'm actually
Don't fuck it up.
worried.
Don't fuck it up. You could have done that then.
Oh, I'm too busy
Don't fuck
laughing.
Right, okay, cool. Well, that is it for the topics. Now it's time to move on to the graphs. So do you want to turn off the topic to...
okay, I'll
or
clear
just
that.
clear the topics?
And then
Yeah.
we'll push this lovely button for timestamps.
Yay, lovely button for timestamps.
There we go. I had to push that a few times there, actually. Right, and then you go for there.
No bueno. Right, okay, so...
Why is...
What?
So this vent here was breakable.
I'll point out, I can't see anything right now because I've got a graph in front of it.
Okay. This vent was breakable, so I'm like, oh, I'll go through here. Yes, they'll never see me coming. This will be the perfect route to...
I hate that. I wish the
game.
vents were like more comprehensive, but anyway. Right, so the first graph, which if you want to turn back on, is do you think exterminate missions are in a good place now? So 20% said no, 80% said yes. Did we have any comments on this?
No, not really. I think somebody's mentioning how, the topic devolved into us just making a game mode, which, yeah.
Yeah, not wrong there. The next one, number 2, if you'd like to hit the button. How do you feel about Loz's puzzle game mode?
Puzzle?
So this was the one about like having to work out where...
Oh, where the thing you had to exterminate was. Yeah.
Exactly, right. So 5% said negative, 25% said neutral, 70% said positive. So thumbs up there. Right. Now this one is like, unfortunately the title clips off, so I'm going to read out the title. On average, you should get a rare relic drop in terms of opening a radiant relic, including the time taken to farm those relics for a specific drop. How do you feel about the previous statement where 1 is too short, 5 is too long, and 3 is perfect as is, right? This is a 5-point scale. So no one said it was too long and no one said it was short. 5% said it was too short, right? 35% said it was long, and 60% said it was fine as is. Yeah?
All right. So heading towards the middle with a little bit towards too long.
Yes. Yeah. This is why I actually tried to call you. So the next one.
Yeah.
So if you remember, I called you like midweek. So number.
There
we go. Right. So how do you feel about spending up to 7 hours once a week at a chance to get a single piece out of 8 of top tier equipment, taking approximately 6 months to get a complete set? So again, the same range, 1 being too short, 5 being too long, and 3 being just right. Yeah?
Yeah.
So 5% said too short. Sorry, no, 5% said it was a short. 6 months was a short period of time. 16% said it was just right. 37% said that was a long period. And 42% said it was too long. Yeah?
Yeah. I'm just...
So I'm inclined to say that it's too long, right? For Warframe, 6 months to get a complete set is too long.
6 months?
But yeah.
Yeah, that's too long.
Yeah, but for Warframe. The next question, so this is number 5. This is actually a reflection on the original, the previous week. So after listening to Loz and Xeno's speech about easing players into trials/raids, when do you think players should be introduced to trials/raids? We also have this on graph number 6 if you want to hit that button so we can actually compare them. So originally 5% said the star chart. So if you go back to 5, we can see that has gone up to 25%.
Sorry, so we've got two questions which are very similar, but what's the key difference here?
The key difference is a week where we turned around and actually said to people, no, you need to get them brought into trials/raids much earlier on.
Yeah.
Because everyone said it should be like top tier content.
Plus, yeah.
So 10% said that they didn't listen to us talk about this. 15% said that it should be Steel Path level 100 plus and modified. So still top tier stuff. Let's go back to the first one. So graph 6. And what was that originally? 25%? I think that says.
Yeah.
Or is it 21%?
Well, 25%.
So that has gone down 10%. If you go back to the new one, you're gonna hate me for this. Sorry, I'll no 5.
Hang on, let me just pause the game while I'm doing this thing. Right, let's get through these.
Cool,
cards.
right. So
no, okay, I'm going to see what I'm doing.
Yeah, next one is the sortie level, which is level 50 to 100. That is now at 20%. What was it before? Was that the top one?
Which one? The one that says 50 to 100?
Sortie. So,
that's
50 to 100.
That's now up to 35%.
So no. It is now 20%. It was 35. It's now 20%.
Right.
Yeah. And then the last one, which is sortie level plus, which is level 100, is now 30%. What was it before?
It's now that 30%. It was 35%.
Right, so that's gone down 5%.
Yeah.
So
I do. I mean, there's actually some points which I'll come into the comments in a sec, which I do agree with some of the points of what they're trying to get across. I think it was Peter Graver off the top of my head, but we'll see. Made a good line, especially one line. I was like, yeah, okay, I agree with that completely. But right, it's the same thing, the same strategy as I said years ago with making these armor sets, which is what's come in. Is you make something complex and then you take bits off of it. You simplify it. You start out with an easier one. The same thing can be done with raids. They almost got this concept with the Trials of Retribution when they made a hard mode, right? But the thing is, like, make the easy mode freaking easy mode. Baby's first raid or baby first trial, as we're saying, to get you into some of the concepts. The first version, if you add in a third, this would have made the trials a much more higher used done piece of content for every people would just be able to pick and play it, right? We had those. Keep the 2 tiers in the game for Trials of Retribution. Baby's first version. I'm not going to get into debate about where to put that one in because it's not what I would say for the star chart 30+ trials that people are talking. This is what this is talking about. I'm not going to say for that. I'm saying this is how they can make the original trials work. Is a trial finder, as in you just click the node when you want to do it. Take away the toxin on the first step, take away half the pads and the instant death in the second section, and make the for the pads, the pads that kill people.
I would replace the instant death with a knockdown. Everyone.
Yes. Oh yes. Yeah. No, fine. Or a stun or something like to indicate it is bad of what you've done. Telegraph it really well with like a big electric effect instead of why have I died? And then in the third stage, just make it just reduce all the stats and things, make it much more simpler. The batteries don't explode or whatever it is. I can't remember what you have to do. You get things in events. You just make it simpler. So and then when you make the harder version, you got the basic version, which is the non-chop down version, and then the harder version you add stuff in. It's super easy. So you can just make the final product and then just chop bits out to make it simpler, make it shorter, make it less complex, and people can get used to it and progress up through the steps. And then once if people had a version they could just drop in and be expected to complete, you can and you could get the common arcanes. It would give a very rare chance of an uncommon arcane, but it would always chuck common arcanes at you. Yeah, so everyone can have easy access to some basic arcanes and say, oh, okay, right, and there are some of the rare ones, right? Do the next tier up. You're like, oh, okay, it's like what I did before, so I know what I'm doing. I know how doors work. I know there's that thing. Oh yeah, no, I'm on this pad. Oh, I don't want to move because it'll stun me or knock me down. Right, so you won't even get people dying because they'll not want to get stunned or knocked down to start with, and then if they do, they get oh wait, that's even worse. I die now. But people would have had but the early mode gives people a safe, easy to enter playground to understand the mechanics and get the concepts around. Instead, it's just like, no, put group together. Yeah, oh, it's got to be about community-based things. For all the people whinging is back in the days about, what is it? People, I mean, I played classic WoW when it came out, and I loved vanilla WoW for the whole group thing. I always used to play a tank. I always was almost mini famous. You got that kind of appeal because I was a good tank, knew what I was doing. I'd log on and people would say like, "Do you want to do something quick?" You know, there'd be a rush of replies because people saw I logged on because they not even in my guild, you know, because that's the thing, and that was a good community thing. You can't have that in all games, and Raid Finder makes it efficient and easy to do it. It's so shocking. It's like people. I think we're going to come into a minute. One of the things is, and a lot of people say this, you know, an aging population playing games. There are a lot of people who are professionals now doing all these important things, but they still want to access their games. And so, being able to experience the content without being that hardcore, put the group together mentality is just paramount to it. You know, even if it's just an easy mode, baby's first, like a fail finder for WoW, where it's like you just basically go to the raid, turn up, and apart from when the raid first comes out, you're going to basically get your kill, pretty much. You might have to do for a few of the bosses early on, the first few weeks. Maybe it'll take a bit because some people don't understand some mechanics. But, you know, you'll get to see the content. As a comparison, that's what in the Burning Crusade, the first World of Warcraft expansion, the amount of people, and they learned this from the original one, the amount of people who actually got to see Illidan, that was it, in TBC. You know, he was on the box.
Yeah.
He was on the cinematic.
Box art.
The amount of people that killed him was like a pathetic amount of the population because you didn't even get to interact with him. Having a raid finder lets people see the content, part of the story, part of the thing.
Oh, God. Wasn't it in the vanilla, like it was like 5% of the player base.
Less than 5% of the player base got to Nax, and less than
I thought it was less than 1% got to Nax.
Less than 1% killed Kel'Thuzad.
Right.
I think it's like that. Or it could be. It might be less than 1% of the population even got into Naxxramas. Yeah, it was ridiculous, and that's like this whole raid tier. I'd say it might be getting as well because it was ridiculous. You had to get rep or hand in loads of stuff.
The attunements and
the attunement was ridiculous on that unless you had like the higher the rep you had with Argent Dawn, the less handing you had to do. So it's ridiculous.
Right. So yeah, it's important, but again, we'll pick that up. But with the thing is, community responses.
Yeah, the last point is you've got to try make this content, and you've made this content, and basically you make two versions: one for the casuals, or one for the hardcore one. And WoW has a tier of things now. I think there's I'm not even gonna get this. There's currently, I think there's Raid Finder, which you can just put a group together and get to see the boss, get to see the content. It's still fun. Then there's Normal, which is basically put 10 people together, up to 10 to 25 people together and have a go at it. Then there's Heroic, which is the proper, you know, most people will have a go at this hardcore, bit of a challenge. And then there's Normal, Heroic, Mythic, that's the one. Mythic, which is this is the hardest version of this content, must be 20 people. We've tuned this fight to exactly this sort of people, this quantity of people, and it is the hardest version of this content. So people who really want to push themselves. So you have a gambit from the absolute casual player can enjoy the content, and the mythic person will get to enjoy the content. The hardcore raider, it's not hard. It's just...
do you mean a gamut, not a gambit? Because a gambit's like a gamble kind of thing, isn't it?
No, gambit. The whole gambit.
Because one was gamut, but okay.
Gamble. You saying gamut or gam? How are you saying it?
I am saying gamut.
Gamut.
Right.
Said spelled how?
Gammit.
Define gamut. It's not a word.
Oh my god. Right.
A gambit. No, it's a gambit. The opening gambit. Yeah.
Define gambit. An actor remark that is calculated. That's an opening move. I thought you were trying to say like the full range of something.
Gambit, something done or said in order to gain advantage or to produce the desired result.
Oh, wait. No, gamut. Sorry, it's GAMUT, right?
Oh.
The complete range or scope of
Oh.
something. That's what I thought you were trying to say.
Gamut.
Oh, it's gamut. Yeah, no, I made a foul there. Yeah, it's like the one I've never done. I didn't know it was gamut, and I thought it's what is it? People say a mute point when it's a moot point.
Moot. Yeah.
That's the kind
I
of thing.
said mute. I said mute for the longest time.
Same.
You're like,
did I correct you on that
and
one?
then, yeah, you corrected me. And then there was like, oh god, the Rick and Morty one, which is like, oh, you shouldn't take anything for granted. Like, no, granted.
No, I didn't know this one. Gamut. It's
Yeah.
the whole gamut. So there we go. Well, we learn something every day. Yep, I'm my failing there.
Yeah. So
Yep,
true. Oh, now there was one part. There was one last part. So you can take away the graphs. We're still on the graphs. So basically, the last thing I did was I asked, last question. The desire of instant gratification has steadily become the norm in video games. What do you think the biggest biggest contributing factor to this is? Right. And if this was there's no graph. There's no graph to this because this is an open-ended question. So, and I just want to quickly burn through the responses. So the first one, lack of free time leading to people wanting to do things now. Yep. What's it called? Second, the time to unlock everything. Do you need to unlock everything?
Completionists do.
I suppose. People getting impatient thanks to more and more companies doing the order now, get it in, get it within 24 hours or something similar. Yep. So, people, it's like companies pandering to the whole get it as soon as you physically can.
Should we call that convenience culture?
Short convenience. I'm going to skip the fourth one. The fifth one is improvement of stats. So people wanting to get bigger numbers sooner, and thus it's in the middle. And thus, they want to do it faster. The next one is games that do not require commitment. The next one, adulting. Average gamer age.
Wait, hang on. You can do two things at once.
What?
You criticized my hacking while telling me about something else.
I can't tell you the plot of the Guyver, right? And read the lore of Warframe. I can tell you that doesn't match. That's easy. Anyway. So adulting, average gamer age has gone up. We have lives, full-time jobs, and our life expectancy is running out. A little bit grim, but, not wrong.
Your life expectancy is not running out.
This is what the thing says.
No, but that doesn't make sense. That's like saying when you're filling
the
a
older
bottle,
you get, the sooner you die.
No, but
as in, like when you're a baby, you're gonna die at 100. When you're 1 year old, you're gonna die at 99. When you're 2 years old, you're gonna die at 98. When you're 3 years, so it just gets shorter and shorter.
Unless you're saying Warframe is actively poisoning us and reducing our life expectancy by playing it.
Clearly. So we need to play it faster. We need to get through it faster so that we don't die, right? That's clearly the message here. Anyway, the next one, lazy gamers who desire everything to be handed to them because they're conditioned to be that way. The modern world makes people lazy because they don't... Oh, Jesus, freaking... makes people lazy. They don't have to do the things that were a challenge in the past. Everything is streamlined for some people. Now, this is a very, very long response to the point of it just keeps on coming off the edge of the screen. Right. Other things competing for players' time, the sheer number of games, gacha games, though funnily enough, you would think that this would teach patience. Some people, it's just mobile games in general. With I'd say gacha games are more of a form of gambling addiction. They train you to get that gratification, so you want it faster, so you put more money into it. Too many casuals gaming. I mean that in the sense that the gaming ecosystem has expanded to include the likes of mobile gamers who are used to these types of things. Ooh, shots fired.
Massive shots fired. No, the thing is, there's some people that say certain games aren't gamers. It's like, oh, people who play Candy Crush aren't gamers. I'm sorry, they're all video games. They're all gamers. And some freaking the Final Fantasy Brave Exvius has a damage system. This is a Final Fantasy game. It's a gacha game.
Yeah.
More complicated than most Final Fantasy games, which throughout the whole gamut of Final Fantasy games, mainline titles. I'm gonna have to sit down and just put a little video just explaining that I don't even fully get the bloody damage system and how many variables it has.
Loz has showed it to me, and it's absolutely crazy.
I have to have. There's two things. This is a mobile app game, right? And I love it because I do love Final Fantasy, and I'm gonna play it. And I lost my favorite Fantasy game. Anyway, this one. There's literally a YouTuber called Sinzar. I cannot play the game without him explaining what I've got to do on a boss to me, right? And then some other amazing person has had to make a calculator website where I have to extract from Google, because I've got rid of Facebook. I have to extract my game files from the server so I can put it into their thing, which has a list of all of the units, all of the equipment, and all of my settings and everything that I have, and then variables for the boss to work out damage calculations of what I should do for maximizing my damage. I have to use that to be able to succeed in these things. To say mobile games are inferior in complexity is just wrong in this day and age. Not all of them, don't get me wrong, there's some simple ones, but they do have the capacity, and there's good examples for complexity there, equal to or more than it would give. I'm not quite, in some ways it would give Warframe's damage system a run for its bloody money.
Oh no, it already does. At least people can work out Warframe's damage system. No one can work out fucking Brave Exorcist.
Right? Oh god,
the computer has to tell them.
And then actually, just one last step because I haven't explained to you is so there's two types of ranking events. One's called Dark Visions, where we just get these big bosses and most people one-shot them in like 1 to 5 turns. But then for the global version, so the Japanese version, we got a new version called Class of Will, where there's even like a morale bar for the fight, and you have to use certain abilities to move the morale so that the enemy boss doesn't over morale you, and then it unlocks special morale abilities, and then the boss changes its effects per turn and what it's going to cast. You don't even know what the boss. It's just. I need people. I need to watch like 20-minute every month because it lasts for 2 weeks. I have to watch several, if not at the minimum, one 25-minute video to understand what the boss is doing this month. There's a new boss every month. I'm just like, so yes, yeah. So anyway, back to you.
Okay. Then the last one is I disagree with the notion that instant gratification has become the norm. With the wide variety of games, our time as gamers has become more thin. We no longer just play Warframe, we play 3 to 7 games on, I think it's supposed to be average, and we want to progress on all of them instead of just focus on one. That's not instant gratification. That's a request for developers to value the time that we give them. Trying to process everything that was just said.
Say again?
I disagree with the notion that instant gratification has become the norm. With the wide variety of games, our time as gamers has become more thin. We no longer play just Warframe. We play 3 to 7 games on average, and we want to progress on all of them instead of just focusing on one. That's not instant gratification. That's a request for developers to value the time that we give them.
Yeah.
Now, I understand where this person's coming from, and I argue that the points given is a sense of instant gratification, where you say that you play 3 to 7 games. I turn around and say I play 1 to 3 games.
Yes.
Right.
And
So
them playing 7 games and expecting to unlock and make the same progress that you would make in your 3 games would be them expecting instant gratification for less effort.
yes,
Oh, sorry, the same gratification for less effort, so more towards instant gratification. Yeah.
yes. So maybe instant is the wrong word, but guarantee is certainly, I think, a applicable word in this instance.
Yeah.
But I do respect that what this person's saying. I know how many people that jump between games like constantly. I mean, one of our dear friends, every 3 weeks he would jump on another game.
Yep.
So I don't know if that's
Well,
still
in some
true,
ways,
but
there's something true about that because there's just too many. There's so many games these days. You know, if you want to.
honestly, I'm thinking about this. I think games as a service is probably the biggest problem towards instant gratification.
Yes. No. Well.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. That. Yeah. I get you.
they try their hardest to keep you playing because they want you to spend money on their game. So they try to drag it out for as long as possible. The biggest contender for this, I feel, is Heroes of the Storm. Like, you had to play many hours every couple of days in order to keep up with your daily quests and things like
No,
that.
but I don't think that's a good example for it because you had free heroes available and you could save up, and it wasn't punishing if you didn't have. You had to have like certain number of heroes unlocked if you wanted to play certain forms of like ranked, because there was like what's the term when you had picks that were discounted.
Draft?
Draft, yeah. You like nobody can have this one, nobody can have this one, nobody can have this one. Yeah, so you had to have a certain number of heroes before you could join that. But the game would give you free heroes to try out and play each week. There was no real demand that, and there was like you had to that those free heroes couldn't be the better ones. I mean, it'd be random. It could be any hero.
No, but if you wanted to buy like the oh god, wasn't like the heroes with the in-game currency, not the premium one,
No,
the
I know what you
freemium
mean.
one.
Yeah, but there was no pressure to do that. You could obviously say it wasn't like that you were if you weren't being forced to do that to keep up with some form of meta by like a new hero's come out, you better work really hard to get the tokens.
The new heroes were always more OP
No,
than
but
anything else.
I mean the game didn't go okay, a new hero is out, you better quickly grind it to complete your hero grid again, otherwise you're going to be absolutely screwed. You get what I mean?
Right.
The game did just go have some free heroes, so you would always have a different character to play each week, and it wasn't ever that like, the new hotness might be the new hotness, but it wasn't like you were pressured to keep up with some sort of always moving goalpost.
I suppose. I think also the fact that they gave you such pitiful amounts of the freemium currency was also, you were always depleting that quite easily. Anyway. But that's it for the graphs. I wanted to just go over that last one. So should we move on to the supporter questions?
Yeah, in fact, I'll just pause it because I didn't realize. Sorry, as soon as I stepped in, the timer starts. So I'm sure that's a new one. Right. So let's supporter questions first. Let's just quickly go to those. There's only a few. So, Zero I suppose Zero was beaten to the point. There's no funny font this week. I do love the fonts he finds. They're so good. Right, anyway, so I am the one who questions. Says like, comment, subscribe. Seccret Meme episode poll to win Plat. Join the Patreon and Discord. Take advantage of a lack of loz with short questions. I read what my teleprompter says.
Do you want to hear something funny?
No. What?
So. The last Campai cast that you were on, you complained about the length of Thalian's questions.
No, yeah, because I didn't know. I didn't mind the long questions. But they had the waffle question, right?
Wait for it. Yep. Then, obviously, you were absent last week.
I was ill last week, yep.
Michelle challenged Thalian to write the longest question. So you have Sunday to look forward to.
You saved it for. Oh, I see. So for this next. Oh, I thought you meant that he had to read out for that episode, right? Okay. So I look forward to it. I'm just looking forward to it. I've already probably read it out at this point, but for when this comes out. But anyway.
Yes, yeah. You would have reacted to it before, yeah.
I'm the one who questions also says, 2 announced updates for the first part of this year. Do you think DE are going to release the larger update right before Tenno Live like they did last year? I really hope they don't. I really hope if I assume he's going to count the update we've already just had, which was not an update. It was a hotfix patchy thing.
I'm sorry. Who won the War of Deimos? That's right, we did. So, no, I'm joking.
Yeah, but they just went particle count down. I mean, that's not a patch. That's an implemented change
No,
that should have happened years ago.
yeah,
I
yeah.
agree with you. Like there was no content. That's not a patch. That's just that. Most of that is just, especially the fact that the big thing in there is replaying the new war, is just like obviously they probably wanted it to come out like that, but they had to fix that. I mean, that's not. I know it might have been a big amount of work. I don't want to diminish that. It might have been a lot of time-consuming thing to get that done, but that's not content.
No, so that's obviously the small patch at its whopping 4 gig. Regardless of that, I personally hope that we see this 31.5 update end of March.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Mid-April.
I'm thinking there should be a March update and a end of June update.
Yeah, they need to be separate.
There needs to be 2 updates, and I'm sorry if they just push this one back, which I can be like, oh, and it's gonna have a. I think they said like it's gonna move into start of the Plains of Deviri stuff, and we're gonna go on to the 10-0. We're gonna go on the Zeraman.
Yeah.
We're gonna go on the Zeraman, and there's gonna be a quest, and there's gonna be a warframe. I'm totally seeing this gonna be just balloon in scope, and it's gonna be just that's gonna be the June patch. I bet every year since after, I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure every year since there was the Spectres of the Rail came out on TennoCon weekend, and that was obviously a mistake because they had to try to do 2 things at once. So then, ever since then, there was always a patch which would come out a little bit before TennoCon, which makes sense because they release some new content, get to patch it so it's working fine. Then TennoCon happens. Big inspiring thing, shows all the cool stuff that's going to be trailers. People who haven't missed the update come back to the game and get to play that cool content they probably, if they didn't come back for that, right? That's what they like doing. And then that ties people over till when the content comes out, right? The new content they announce at TennoCon. That's what the model they have been following, it seems to be. So if we're not getting if they're just going to push it all for a big June update and we're getting nothing between now and June,
in all honesty, at that point in time, I'd question, like,
honestly,
why?
Now,
why?
seeing as they said, and they said that they were able to do the Call of Tempestari in 3 months, right? So in theory, January, February, March ish. Make it a bit small in Tempestari, just a simple small thing. We should be able to get a small update before then. And then April, May, June, we could have another Tempestari.
I would much rather see. Let's give, like, we don't have to do Tempestari immediately, right? We don't have to do the quest immediately. Let's get the tile set in. Let's get the mission nodes added in, like, a few at a time. Oh, sorry. Hiccups. Worst time to get hiccups. Let's get the Call of the Tempestari. Sorry. Oh, God damn it. Let's get the Zeraman tile set added in. Let's get the game modes added in slowly. Not slowly, incrementally, right? So let's turn this 0.5 update into a 0.2, a 0.3, a 0.4, and ultimately a 0.5, right? Because as you say, things balloon in scope, and the problem is that leaves dry spells and you get nothing. One of the biggest factors for why I gave up on World of Warcraft was the fact that after 6 months, the first update wasn't due. The first major update, no, was it 3 months? I can't remember how long we were playing for. The first major update wasn't due for the better part of a year, right? I'm like, why the fuck am I paying for something that I can't fucking do anything with? So, I gave up. Obviously, Activision Blizzard didn't care, so I didn't care. I feel DE, they care a lot. The problem is that they care so much that they keep on wanting to expand the scope, and it's like I am starting to get seriously nostalgic for updates that happened every couple of weeks.
Oh, totally, totally. What? So, yeah, that's the thing, right? Why can't at the end of March, small operation, like literally small operation, nothing big, nothing complex, not repeatable. Few voice lines, maybe some sort of cool event, maybe with some cool Gravidia style choosing thing. Maybe do you want to guard? Do you want to help the Corpus or the Grineer resist an armor? Little event, nothing complex, just something to tide us over. Maybe a few little teasers or something in there somewhere, right?
Well,
use existing tile sets, existing models. Make it real quick and cool. Focus on just maybe a gameplay element or two. That's interesting. There we go. Right? Then save all the rest. Tile set, game mode, quest, warframe for June. But we should be seeing that sort of stuff.
Why not have it so that the... Oh, gosh darn it. No, my brain is completely... oh yeah. What? So we were talking like earlier, and in the survey and everything, like increasing the number of enemies and things. So why don't we try it as an event where we've upped the number of enemies that can appear in the environment, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. You mean come up with an event to test, to scale that up, see how far, what can handle, what can things handle. Yeah.
What can the Switch handle?
It's basically what can the Switch handle, yeah.
Yeah. Just do it as a small event. Give us an emblem. Give us maybe do a trophy, like a golden trophy for 3 hours or something crazy like that. You get the idea.
They've got all this. And the thing is, they've got all these tile sets. They've got these open worlds. Give us little operations, little exciting things to do on them. But that's how it used to be. It was the good old days where it was just like, we have a small idea. Here's a game mode where you're defending this thing. Here's a game mode where you're playing a railjack and you have to blow up a spaceship. Here's a game mode where you have to snipe drones. Here's a game mode where what were some of the events? Oh, just kill Oxymos sprays. The basic event. Hey, it was still something.
Give us an event, right, where there's a fourth phase to an Eidolon night, right? That has all 3 Eidolons at once.
We've been asking for that for years. The Eidolon fight, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, and it doesn't have to come back because people aren't gonna like it. They're not gonna think it's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But it's something to do once.
It's something to do that could be exciting. Could do a little small movement of the story, or not, if that's the sticking point that seems to forever curse the game, the lore element. So just maybe not, just something small. And like I say, bring back the Proxy Rebellion one, and just say that just do things with it. Just chuck enemies at us. Just yeah.
Cool. Right. Next.
So next to it from Zrugal. Zrugal said, "Do you use beard oil? If so, what brand?"
No, I don't. Especially not now because it fell off. I don't like to put anything in my beard. My skin is super sensitive.
Super sensitive.
Yeah, so sensitive I actually have to chop it off.
Oh, I thought it was the acid.
Yeah, that fell off. Anyway. I can't believe it's not butter because it was actually acid instead.
And lastly, Zrugal says, have you considered putting background music like Campicast?
We were actually talking about this earlier because you brought it up and I saw that you brought it up, and Loz raised the point of having the game audio and things. If people want music, I'm down to talk to Joey about getting a track that would fit,
Or does just the little bit of background music from Warframe just tide you over, like with guns and shooting and, but not too obtrusive? Is that good enough? Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, whatever you want. Right, that's it from those community shoutouts.
Yep.
And now I'll go and put bad time to do it. Let me hide somewhere. Up here looks good. Yeah. Hiding. This is hiding. Right, let's get the community. Well, these ones? Oh, I've got to push button.
Community responses.
Oh, let me push button. Button my own. Back. Oh, I don't think I pushed support question. There we go.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll find it.
All right, well, push that, and now push community responses. There we go. Right, so on to that. Okay, Anarchy Gaming. About the raid question, I really took it as when to introduce it, and I still stand by it being sortie plus levels. My reasoning isn't to be taken as gatekeeping or entitlement, try not to make it sound so, but more of the amount of content comes towards lower mastery rank players. Just like the moment when they finish the tutorial mission, they are overwhelmed by directions. At the point where you unlock sorties, or within, you not only know where you are going, you have a good base on the game, and if Trials would unlock after you complete a sortie for the first time, it would be a prelude to Trials.
So when do you unlock the War Within?
Yes.
You would have to do. I'm pretty sure the second dream is Neptune. No, Uranus. I'm pretty sure the second dream is Uranus. So the War Within would be Pluto. So it's roughly around the same time we're talking about, because we were talking about level 30 to 50.
Yeah,
Level 30 start at Uranus. So
yeah.
like I understand where who is this that said this?
Anarchy Gaming.
I understand where Anarchy Gaming is coming from. I really appreciate where they're coming from. Because yeah, there is so much that's front loaded into the game. But I feel it is super important to start introducing them to raids and things early on. Otherwise, you just end up with scenarios of, me playing World of Warcraft going like, how do instance? How do dungeon? Don't understand. I'm too dumb.
How spellbook work?
How spellbook work?
Sorry, let me correct that. How spellbook?
How action buttons? How action bar work?
How Bhutan?
Anyway, yeah. Next one.
So yeah, I cut this one out, but it's just because I want to go for the B bit. This is the one I'm saying from Peter Gravers. There's a key point here I liked in here. Right. As a player who has spent a total of $40 on Warframe, 7 years of time acquiring everything, I've grinded for everything and want content to use it on. That's the biggest thing I've asked for of DE, is give us good, challenging, replayable content. I would almost bet money that when Raids/Trials return a Warframe and return a Warframe and a weapon will be in the rewards pool, which is fine. But what would have us return for the long term? Maybe that could be a topic. What kind of new rewards could be used to make long-term content or better replayable content? It's a very good point from Peter Graver there. There was some more stuff at the start, but I agree with it. First, there's 2 points really I want to focus on that. The first bit, which is about, again, not making everything for new players, which I do agree with. It's a definite problem in Warframe. It's like, hey, here's these planes, and new players can access it really easily. It's like, no, make them work for it and make it, lot gated. But the other thing is rewards, which is another big problem for Warframe. But more than just the problem of going, here's a reward, is Warframe is really afraid of making those rewards mandatory and based around the content. So, for instance, we get arcanes, but they're technically optional for some things. They're rivens, they're technically optional. Focus tree, technically optional. Necromechs, mostly optional, but apart from quests, they're the only thing that require them. Could you imagine if World of Warcraft went, right, so I'm a starting player, okay, you don't start with shoulder pads, so we'll call those optional. You don't start with a helmet very quickly, that's optional. So 2 stat boxes are now optional. So there's some players who will have shoulders and pads and helmets, and other players who don't. So how do you scale the boss's damage? Or do you say, right, everyone at this point must have... cape's the other one. Shoulder pads, helmet and cape, and trinkets. Trinkets don't come till later in Warcraft either. No, it doesn't just say, you don't have to have these. It says, no, you have to have them. We're gonna demand you get all this equipment for moving forward. But Warframe doesn't. Warframe's really afraid of making you do this to do the next tier. Arcane should be mandatory. Focus tree should be mandatory. You have to have these things because the gameplay will require it, and the amount of damage and stats and output, we expect you to have them.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% on board for what both of you are saying. And it's entirely a valid point. I think the biggest thing that we have said earlier in this episode is there should be an easy mode and a regular mode for trials/raids. And the regular mode, I I'm leaning on the side of you can't. Oh, gosh, what's the name of the damn thing? You can't raid finder for that. You have to have a pre-made group.
Yeah.
But easy mode you can raid finder. And the big thing is like seriously, like this is Peter Graver, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I when raids were going away, I ended up taking several groups of people to go do the easy mode of Trials of Retribution only because people were too scared to do it.
Yeah.
Like they literally didn't want to be a burden on anyone else, so they were too afraid to actually do it.
Yeah, because
they didn't want to get.
Sorry, you keep finishing. They didn't want to.
They didn't want to get yelled at by people for doing a shit job, so they weren't prepared. Like again, it was the same problem why I never did dungeons in World of Warcraft until Wrath of the Lich King, where it turned around and went, "Yeah, we're adding in a what's called looking for groups mechanic, so you can go do dungeons." And then like I started tanking the shit out of those things.
Yeah. So yeah, so before then, I mean, I was the same. It's like, oh, do you want to go do this trial? Oh no, well, I don't really know what's involved. It's going to be complex. I know there's stages or something. That's what I've seen. Oh, I'm going to have to go watch some YouTube videos and make sure I've got the right build, and then I've got to be in a group, and I've got to make sure I've got the right things for what that group role they put me in. If I don't do it right, or you put in a trial version to remove the mystique, remove the scariness, and people are like, oh yeah, I know most of that, and they're like, oh, and that way when they're putting a group together, it's like you ask everyone, has everyone done the easy mode version? It's like, oh yeah, I did that for fun. You know, I got it at this low level. It's like, good. Okay, so it's exactly the same, but this happens here. Oh, okay, so I've only got to... I know this so much, but there's just one new thing here, or two new things here, but they have a framework to build upon.
So easy mode should be, well, realistically as early as you can get it, and then hard, like I'm talking again, Uranus, Pluto, that sort of area, and then the hard mode should be Salty Plus.
Oh yeah, I would have multiple hard modes, and there should be one which is like the absolute nth tier. And the thing is, if you're making the easy one, you can just add or remove contents to make the other one, you know, to make the easy or the hard one. But yeah,
oh my God. Can we have a mode which is like you have to have cleared off Star Chart Steel Path?
Oh yeah,
like I'd be like, yes, a reason to do Star Chart Steel Path.
I literally, I mean, I said this for back in the day for when I came up with when I said about the concept of upgrading armor sets, right? And for then, the only thing we had in the game that we could possibly put on was like bosses, and I said they should put hard mode bosses in, which they don't even know if they can be cleared. And it should have even put a disclaimer in the screen. It's like, okay, we have ramped this up to level bajillion, and we expect you to try and cheese it if you can, but we are going to put everything in we can to just be anti-cheese and try and beat you down. We don't even know if you can clear it at first. Leave it at that, and then if nobody clears it in 2 months, say, all right, we're making this incrementally easier. Do it. People will be happy with it. Because if it's like the tier 4 and everyone else can have a go at tiers 1 to 3, and tier being easy, 2 being okay, 3 being hard, having a 4th tier so people get to see the content, get to enjoy the thing, get rewards, but there's just absolute one little bit that's cheesy. Might not even give any rewards, but it's just like, yeah, this is just some silliness and, you know, try hards. People will be okay with it because the portion of the population that want to do that can do it, but you're not excluding other people who feel like they're missing out.
One of the big things that they could do, because they're now started doing the public test servers.
Yeah.
You know, they could do well, we've got a hard version of Captain Vor, and we're going to invite people to come do it. You will not get the rewards for doing it. This is just an experiment. And then they can base it like, you know, it's too hard, it's too easy, so on and so forth. And then then they can bring it into the full version, you know, the retail launch of the game, and, you know, tweak it from there once they actually have a proper grasp of the release of the boss fight. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Right. Next reply.
So next we've got JJ24. It's a separate issue, but I don't know of any evergreen rewards that would keep the raid populated. How did WoW deal with old expansions? I know Fantasy 14 has level sync and daily rewards.
They would put new rewards in.
Yep.
So like pets and things like that. So cosmetic rewards.
So yeah, there was obviously transmog, which meant, hey, did you have that old
Yeah.
trauma set? Unless you kept it in your bank for 5 years, you probably binned it. Why not go farm it again? And that way people would
Yeah.
do it, and people would love doing it. People would love doing it. Oh yeah, just soloing hard raids. Then, as you say, pets. Yeah, they added a pet game in, so they added pets for drops from bosses. People went mad for them. Mad, absolutely mad.
And there was the legendary items that were hard enough to get at the time,
Yep.
that people wouldn't have, and they could go get the achievements for doing that. I mean, put some achievements in Warframe for doing the raids in a certain method.
Yeah, why not? But there's also how did Fantasy 14 has level sync and daily rewards. So what was I going to suggest for? Oh, it's two things I was going to think. Yeah, Final Fantasy 14 first. So for one thing they do for a lot of their stuff, I think only the highest, newest, current raid tier drops the. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not. I do play Final Fantasy 14, but I'm not at like the nth tier level, and I've never caught up with it really. But my understanding is the highest, newest raid drops gear as like WoW did, for you drop here's some loot and things. But then anything before that current tier will drop tokens. Even every raid tier in Final Fantasy will give you something, let alone transmog or anything, or tokens. And Warframe is so tired or so worried about doing a token system. Like we wanted it for relics, and they gave us the bloody Barrett tokens. It's like no, but we wanted tokens in case we get a very bad luck and we have to do something 500 times to get a rare drop. They never let us have it. So token systems for rewards was something that Warframe's really afraid to do. But imagine if you did trial and you just got 3 trial tokens, and then you needed 20. I'm just coming up numbers off my head. 20 trial tokens to buy an arcane set or something.
I think they would be more inclined to do a trial token system, or a token system in general, if they could limit the frequency in which you are doing the trials.
Hang on, let me just plug this in. Ugh. No, but what you could do for this is that you would have older trials or lower ranked trials give different tokens.
Yeah, sure. But my point is,
and then the highest or newest or whatever you want, the hardest one, you only get 1 run per week that gives tokens. So that one limits the amount of tokens you get.
I think that my point I'm trying to make is the fact that I don't think they wanted to do trials as it is. Sorry, they don't want to do a token system as is right now, right? With just the content that's already in the game, only because the what's called there's no hard limit to how frequently you can get the tokens, right? Look at the players that got was it temporary banned or their rewards taken
for
Steelies.
Yeah. Can I say the thing is though, Warframe has already come up with one of the solutions which fixes that, and the other solution no, it's even come up with, sorry, Warframe already implements both there's 2 solutions which would fix that kind of issue. One, you can make the tokens decay.
Okay.
2, you just put a hard cap on the amount of tokens you can have at any one time. So you can only get to 25 tokens. So until you spend them, you can't, basically between seasons or between low time or when there's nothing in, you can't save up 1 billion tokens. And if you're asking when they implemented that, it was for
the Void Tracers.
No, Nightwave.
Void Tracers does do it.
Void Tracers does do that, that's a good example. But also when we had the Nightwave with the crystal thing, and you needed to save up tokens to access the event thing, you could only have, I think, the equivalent of 2. It was either 2 or 4 runs worth at any time. So if you failed it, and you failed, I think it was 2 runs. You did 2 runs, and you had to go and save up more tokens. And then while you're waiting for the next season to come out, you couldn't get more than 2 runs worth of tokens. Job done. Both those systems would, and they implemented neither of those for Steel Path, and that's where their fault came. Because the thing is, you could always implement it with the cap and either reduce the cap or remove the cap later, which is what they've done with Focus, and they've just never removed the cap for some reason. So the thing is, they implement their own solutions, but then they seem to forget about them.
Yeah. Okay then. Next reply.
So JJ24 and Dance Origins put something quite similar to this, where they said that Void Trace collecting is probably the worst feeling or worst grind. So it was one of the worst grinds in the game so far.
Or
worst parts of the grind, because we didn't elucidate on it much.
I kind of agree with this notion. Not really. I mean, if you're just doing void traces and nothing else, sure, but nothing stops you from just cracking open relics that you have droves of. Actually, one thing people that started after the whole void key fiasco, like, do you guys have bajillions of relics just sat there doing sweet FA?
Well, we'll see. Yeah, but I still think we also should have the suggestion we originally suggested, which you can smash any relic to get void traces.
Yeah,
I still think that's a good one. That would help.
Yeah. So many void traces.
And then the last one is Grey Archon. And Zerugel also comments on this. How happy is Xeno that they cleared up some of the floating orange shit on the Cambion Drift in the new patch, Echoes of War?
So happy.
Zerugel wanted you to try wearing orange glasses to try and help it.
What's called Loz was sad that they changed it because he wanted me to wear the orange glasses and things.
Well, science.
I'll still do it, but yeah, honestly, I've actually played the Cambion Drift now, and I'm like, oh man, but my eyes still try to focus on the orange crap, but I don't get nearly as bad eye strain anymore.
There we go. Well, that's it.
I can do about an hour, and
that's it.
Then I have to stop. Cool. I'll just do the 24-hour. What's the name of the 24-hour Deimos with my monitor off periodically. Yeah, I'll just get Loz to explain to you. What's happening?
You'll invent Deimos night mode, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Right. Okay. Cool. So that's it for the community responses. Let's go to the memes. Hit the memes button.
I've hit the memes button.
Meme number 1.
I'll hit meme number 1. There we go.
Meme number 1.
So this one's for Drew.
Okay.
I'm surrounded. I'm gonna leave this thing to go back music. I'm surrounded by updates on my 5 megabyte network. Me just want to play after a long day. Warframe 4 gigabyte update. You can put Drew's face on this one. You can just put Drew's face on this one.
Do you want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
So, I saw the alert and everything. Hey, the update's gone live and everything. I was still working at the time, and I was in the middle of a meeting, and I turned on the update, and it's like, oh, Drew, we seem to be having issues. Are you able to? And then I dropped from the call, and I just called them up on my phone. I was like, sorry, my internet must have turned to shit.
Oh dear, naughty you, naughty you.
That's fine.
Right, well, moving on to meme number 2, which is... Oh yeah, here we are, this is the one. Maximum security. Corpus Crewman. They were silent, I couldn't hear them. Security camera. They're invisible, I couldn't see them. Laser grid. They were in a rift, I couldn't sense them. Corpus door. Oh, an invisible, silent, interdimensional space ninja. You may proceed safely.
Yep. Oh god, yeah. Seriously, why don't you just lock the fucking door?
Why does it, when you're not in this dimension, still open for you?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Right, meme number 3. Having an Octavia Lamau. A Grineer soldier watching a rolling Bluetooth speaker vaporize his brother, then seeing some robot chick teabag the air and disappear.
Oof. Big oof.
Big oof.
Big oof. But it do be like that.
Meme number 4. Thank God I never spent it until I needed more slots. Spending starting platinum on cosmetics. Warframe slots.
Oh, it couldn't be more true if it tried.
I think, actually, this thing, I remember back in the day, it was actually a Sentinel, and Warframe slots were the best choice because there was no quest to get the Sentinel. So buying a Sentinel outright, which came with a Orokin, it saved you. In fact, it was the equivalent of just buying an Orokin catalyst and an Orokin reactor because the gun would have an Orokin catalyst in it, and the Sentinel came with a catalyst, so it was basically a free Sentinel build. So it was like, why not? Yeah. But these days, there's baby's first Sentinel. So yeah. Anyway, still Warframe slots.
Back then, you couldn't even upgrade. So you can gift it. Sorry, that's what I meant.
Yes, yes, that too, yeah. And meme number. Oh, was that meme number 4?
That was 4.
Oh, 4. Okay,
This is
meme
5.
number 5. I
Mhm.
guess our operator completely forgot all the Orphix missions they did in New War. Operators, realizing Necromechs ignore Orphixes, and they didn't need to send Teshin to his death.
Why did we send Teshin in?
To his death. Don't say in, say, why did we send Teshin to his death?
Well, is he dead?
Yes.
Okay. Why did we send Teshin to his death when we could have just sent a Necromech?
Hell, you could have just had the Necromech running on AI mode. It still would have been better than Teshin dying.
Wait, you can set the Necromech to run on AI mode?
No, we couldn't, but in the law, we should be able to. I mean, I don't
Okay.
think we could. That would be kind of cool, but still.
Oh no. I don't think we can because I think a big part of it was that the sentients could corrupt the Necromech and like remote control it, much like they were doing with the mowers and the proxies for Viso's part.
I don't think so. I think it's more
No,
the
no,
infested
no,
could
no.
mess them up.
That's
But
I'm pretty sure that's the law. Like the law behind it is that they didn't continue to use them because the Cephalon AI that was running inside the Necromechs were being controlled by the sentients. That's why they stopped using the Necromechs.
oh,
But
fair.
right now we're controlling them.
It doesn't quite make sense to me, but okay, fine. Right, and then final meme, which beats even this for the New War. Hey, what moments? Pending couple therapist title. What I expected from Warframe: The New War. What I got.
Who's that in the bottom corner? Who is that in the bottom corner? Is that just a random?
Oh, that's I assume that's supposed to be you in the void, the kiddo, hey kiddo operator version of the.
Oh
It's
well,
got.
I would have thought they would look the same, but you know, oh well.
It does have
But
the creepy face and the smile in the eyes, so I assume but maybe they just look a bit different. But yeah, yep.
oh god, that's hilarious. That's absolutely.
It's so true as well. Like that's what I
Oh
wanted from the New
god,
War.
yes.
I just wanted freaking Warframe
War.
to have a war. What we got was like, I'm sad that you didn't love me, but you loved the kid, but I have everyone loving me now, but that's not enough. I need more love. I'm going to make love to a whole solar system.
To be honest, I would have laughed if what you call it, you put the mask or whoever puts the mask on Ballast, and then he just starts making out with a mirror.
Oh
Anyway,
dear. Right, so all these memes are from the r/meme frame subreddit. Do check them out. There are links in the description of this video, along with a secret meme of the week, which is a video which I normally put there because obviously these are all stills. And that's that. So let us move on to the last section of this week, which is our community shoutouts after I get rid of the memes. There we go.
cool. Right. So our first community shout out is Zephyr Prime, and Ordis by Jorial.
When you go to explore the darkest timeline, but your mother tells you you have to take your sister with you, and she brings her new pet as well.
Yep.
Aww. Still want that Ordis skin as a sentinel.
Yep. I just wanted to like float around
That too. Oh, yeah.
the set. Right. Next is Nidus the Adaptive Scourge by Dasta Creations.
Nice. Look at that.
Yep.
Also like a comic book style. Like the grittiness of it. Love it.
The next one is Miracasadis' Sarin Prime by D3M1 Doodles.
Raffle prize for @Mira Cassadris of their iconic Sarin Prime.
Yep.
Nice. I mean, that's just
The
artistic talent. Wouldn't it be nice to have some of that?
We don't know what that is.
We don't know what
The
that
fourth one is Orden by SLXS. So Orden Karras.
Orden, I really like the character.
Yeah. Do you know who Orden Karras is?
Ordis?
Yeah.
Yeah, but do we know he has clawed feet and cool
Nope.
hunter tusks
No
and
idea.
a scorpion tail?
those could be the bone blades that are. So do you know the lore behind Orden Karras?
He was I know he was just basically a toy thing for the Orokin, and he was like a hunter or something.
He tried to kill Ballas. Basically he goes to like see the seven. They disarm him, but he has these two bone blades in his brain, and it's suicide. They're suicide weapons. He pulls them out, kills Ballas, and then he bleeds out and dies. But they actually give him the Kuva to turn him into a Cephalon. And
I
that's how you
thought
get
that he
Ordis.
was like in a constant loop of being Ordis, remembering who he was, trying to kill them, and then they kept resetting him.
No, that's the flaw within Ordis's memory. He keeps on. So they basically kind of reprogram Ordis to be the servant, like the aid to the Tenno. But in order to do that, he keeps on losing all his memories, but he keeps on finding his memories again. But then because of his programming, he has to lose his memories again. So he goes through the infinite cycle.
Right.
Yeah. So it's really, yeah, it's really cool.
Another excellent plot element, which probably should have come up in the new war and would have been hilarious if Ballas made some joke at Ordis' expense and Ordis got confused and it was all like seeing Ordis get sad and everything. But no, we can't have cool references like that because.
Yeah.
Let's just move on before I get sad and moan.
Then we have Mirage by Zero Control.
It's damn beautiful. Why can't that be an emblem? I'd love that as an emblem. Somebody get that as an emblem. Badass emblem.
Someone reach out to Zero Control. And then the last one is Limbo Prime and Eidolon Wisp by, oh god, Lossitude? Lossitude? I don't know.
Why do I draw my favourite boy so rarely? I don't know. Which Warframe did you say this was?
Isn't that Limbo Prime?
It says Warframe Revenant.
That's not Revenant. Is that Revenant? That can't be Revenant.
It's not Limbo.
That can't be Revenant.
Not Limbo, for one. It's got the Orokin, the sentient arm cannon, for one.
But the head, is that a Revenant?
Hashtag Warframe Revenant, hashtag Revenant. Do I have to quickly go?
It doesn't have... Yeah, you do that, Loz.
The mystery must be solved.
The mystery must be solved. When you get down there, go into your arsenal. Everyone else is screaming, that's Revenant, but like doesn't have the weird arm stuff. I suppose he doesn't have the coat for... Is that really Revenant? Why are you... Okay.
Because I can see the shop and things easier. In case I don't have it. I can't remember if I have Revenant, you see.
Oh, okay. You don't have Revenant?
No, I'm lazy. Oh no, I do. Okay.
Good appearance. Good appearance. Just go to like one of your other like sets. Is that Revenant? Can you turn off the community show?
There's a skin.
No.
Well, it's got the shoulder. I mean, like you can see on the right shoulder, it's got this shoulder epaulet thing going on, which is a bit hard to see on this one. In fact, that one's kind of closer. The chest is a bit weird though because it's got a non-symmetrical chest. As for helmet, maybe we should go look at a different helmet. Where's the?
It's not that one. It's that one.
Is it?
Yeah, it's that one.
Think?
Yeah, but it's got none of the energy stuff, which is why I didn't think it was Revenant at all. Because I don't recognize that like that middle part or the arm or things like that, mostly because they're obscured by the energy stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely that one, is it?
Yeah. Okay, there you go. It's Revenant. I got it wrong.
Okay. Mystery solved. Oh no, that's wrong shout. Let's bring it back. There we go. There's just for, and yeah, it doesn't have the energy stuff.
Yeah,
but I guess it is
still
relevant.
gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's got the hip things as well. No, but you can see, see the trees through the. It's a variant of Revenant, is what it is. It's still amazing. Still really good. Yep. But anyway, that is it. Let's clear that off and go.
That's
back.
it for the community shoutouts. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We are now going to sign off, and yeah, we will see you. Or I Nazeth, will see you for next week. Look at all those lovely Patreon supporters. All your Patreon monies go towards the amazing creations of Arbiter's Assessments and Notice Me Senpai. You can also get early access to Kampai Cast, and you get access to the extended versions of Notice Me Senpai and Arbiters. Arbiters will most likely be on like a monthly basis, whatever. There's just good news to talk about in terms of Warframe. Otherwise, it's Notice Me Senpai.
There we go. I was going to say goodbye for everyone for a bit. I will be back once again. I have to do, but I'm sure it shouldn't be too many episodes. I hope everyone has fun running away, and maybe when I get back, there'll be new Warframe things to talk about.
Hopefully.
Hopefully it's good. But goodbye, everyone, for now. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.